Hey, Kathy, could you please mute yourself? Alrighty. Today is Tuesday, June 9th, and a meeting of the Salem-Keizer School Board is called to order. And this meeting is entirely online, with public access through a link provided on the agenda, and it is also being broadcast on CCTV Channel 21. We're going to start with attendance, board attendance, starting with Satya. Are you here?
Comenzando con Satya, está presente. Sí.
And Paul Kylo. Thank you, Director Kylo. Director Blasi.
Director Kylo.
Here.
Director Blasi.
Director Goss.
Presente. Director Gas.
Director Bethel.
Here.
Okay. Back to Director Goss. Are you there?
Presente. Director.
Yes.
Director.
Okay, perfect. And Director Hyan.
Presente. Sí.
She
Director Hyan
did say that she might come if she was able to, just to attend.
indicó que
but it looks like she is not here. So Chair Hyan is absent, and I am going to be chairing this meeting in her absence. So we are going to start with the Pledge of Allegiance.
Vamos a comenzar con el juramento de allegancia.
All righty. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Una nación bajo Dios, indivisible, con libertad y justicia para todos.
Alrighty, and it looks like agenda modifications, there are none.
Bueno.
So we're going to go ahead and move on to the spotlights on success. And I'm going to turn this over to Superintendent Perry for this.
Right, and if you don't mind, Director Lippold, I'd just like to make a couple comments before we begin. Would that be okay with you?
Oh, that's totally fine.
Okay, thank you. Hey, so I just want to make some comments on world events and a lot of the testimony we've received tonight. So, and I've just prepared some for you to kind of set the stage. So, joined by a community of caring and dedicated educators, I do want to state publicly that I'm horrified at the murder of George Floyd. And these past 10 days, we've really had a number of big conversations within the district. And I want you and I want our community to know that I've challenged both my administrative team and our district in our district-wide staff meetings, which have about 2,800 people in attendance at, to actively demonstrate anti-racism. We know that racism exists in our schools, our district, and also in our community. And we, as a public school, need to remain committed and recommit to dismantling racist structures so all students can learn and grow in safe environments. And as we think about this month as Pride Month, it's also important to remember that as we celebrate Pride Month, which stemmed from the actions of a Black transgender woman, Marsha Johnson, she helped spur the civil rights movement for our LGBTQ plus friends, colleagues, and community members through the Stonewall riots. So this time is an important time for us to be reflective of the place we are in this world right now. And I do know that the community has raised many concerns about the SROs in our schools. And so I want to say that I've received that. I've been reading it all day. And I truly believe this is a really important community conversation and one I'm committed to having. But what I want us to do is to be thoughtful and deliberate and do deliberate outreach and really engage in the conversations with our community to create a common understanding of the concerns and to be sure that we get input and conversation from all of our communities of color, including our Black students and their families, students of our Pacific Islanders, Latinx, Native American, Asian American immigrants, and also our LGBTQ plus students. I know you have a petition that's also signed by a number
de
of
los gremios
those
del Pacífico.
organizations that represent our students and families. So I want to say we hear
Las
that,
organizaciones que
but I
representan
do really
nuestros
think it's
estudiantes,
important that we do thoughtful
respecto a la
outreach and
transmisión.
deliberation and really be listeners, because there's some things we're hearing about SROs that I just think we need to
Creo que
hear
es importante que
first.
seamos
So it's
que
really an
escuchemos
important
bien.
dialogue about the SRO program, what it is, what the
Es un
concerns
diálogo
are
muy
that are raised
importante
in the correspondence.
en
So
cuanto al
please
programa,
know
sus
I honor that, and you're going to
preocupaciones
hear
y
a
nuestra
lot of
correspondencia.
public
Y por favor
comment
sepa
about
que
that in
serán
the
muchos comentarios
budget
del
committee
público en
process.
cuanto a eso.
I'll talk a
Durante el
little bit more
proceso
about
del
the
comité de
SRO
presupuesto.
contract within that process and what it means
Voy a
to
hablar un
adopt the
poquito
budget,
más
so I'll save those
acerca del
comments.
contrato
But I just
de
want to
SRO
end with a quote from Dr. Martin
y
Luther
lo
King that
que
says, "A
significa
threat to
para
justice
adoptar el
anywhere
presupuesto.
is a threat to justice everywhere." And
Quiero
as we
terminar
engage
con
in this, we really do have to think
un
about
dicho
what is
de
it our students are
Martin
telling
Luther
us
King
about
Jr.,
treatment,
de
what
lo
that
que nos
means,
están
and how do we
contando
keep all
nuestros
kids
estudiantes
safe
de
and welcome in
tratamiento
our schools.
y
So with
qué quiere
that,
decir
I'll
eso
turn it
y
over
cómo
to
mantenemos todos
Lillian, who's going to
seguros.
do our spotlights on success.
Con eso voy a
Thank you.
entregar
Tonight,
la conversación
we want to spotlight ARCO AM/PM on Southeast Commercial
Esta
Street
noche queremos
and the Kitchen on Court Street
poner el
as our
enfoque
business partners of the
en
month for
ARCO
June
AM/PM
2020.
Por la calle Commercial.
Hussein Mustafa, owner of ARCO AM/PM on Southeast Commercial Street, has been supporting
dueño de
students with
ARCO
special needs in the
AM/PM
Community
por la calle
Transition
Commercial.
Program since
Ha
2006.
apoyado a los
These
estudiantes
student
de
skill
educación
builders
especial con
learn the
el
skills to
programa
help
de
them get jobs
transición
and
a la
become
comunidad,
self-sufficient upon
aprender las
graduation.
habilidades para
At
conseguir
ARCO,
empleo
students
y
learn about customer
mantener
service
sus
at the
mismos.
pumps, the
En ARCO,
pump
los
hardware, and the
estudiantes aprenden
different
acerca del
tech
servicio
used
de
for
los
paying.
clientes
At least 100 different
y
students have
diferente
gained these valuable experiences over the years.
utilizo de
Mr. Mustafa recently
limpieza
retired,
que
and we
soporta la
didn't want to
transición.
miss our chance to say a sincere thank you for your support. It has truly made a
Queremos
difference.
darle un agradecimiento
Our
sincero
Community Transition Program also
que
wishes to
está
thank
haciendo una
Chef
diferencia.
Bernard Mallard
Nuestro
and the
programa
Kitchen on Court
de
Street for
transición a
giving
la comunidad.
student skill builders the chance to experience
Queremos
working in a
enfocarnos en
restaurant.
Kitchen on
Students
Court
learn
Street,
customer service skills
ser socio
along with food
del
preparation and serving skills. The
Apoyen
Kitchen
a
on
los
Court Street is a
estudiantes y
new
las
community
habilidades en
transition
cuanto
program
a
partner
la
that began
preparación de la
supporting our
comida.
students this school year. We look forward to continuing a relationship
asocio
that will
en
help
cuanto a
many
la
more
comunidad,
students in the years to
El
come.
programa de transición al
Our
comunitario.
community partner of the month
Queremos
is the Oregon Lions
involucrar
Sight and
aún más
Hearing
estudiantes
Foundation.
durante los futuros
Working
años.
together with local
Y,
Lions clubs and
el
Salem-Keizer student
asocio en
volunteers,
cuanto a la
the
comunidad para
foundation
el
tested the
CENER
eyesight of more than
es la
16,000
Fundación para la
students at
Audición y la
62 of our
Vista
schools this year.
Oregon Lions.
Undetected vision problems can impact a
Se corta
student's
la
life in
transición,
many ways, including causing them to struggle in
refiriendo a
school.
62 escuelas
Students who are
durante este año.
identified as having vision problems are referred to the eye doctor to correct the issues.
Entonces los estudiantes identificados con
Superintendent
problemas
Perry
con
made a
la
special
vista o audición
request for
son
us to make
referidos
sure and thank
a la fundación.
Executive Director Doug Thompson, who is also a Salem-Keizer
Queremos
Public Schools
agradecer
graduate,
el director
and the
ejecutivo,
Oregon Lions Sight and Hearing
también
Foundation for
graduado
all of their
del
support.
distrito
Um,
de Salem.
Moving to
Por
our
el
staff
apoyo
spotlight,
por la
our
Fundación de
final
Oregon
spotlight
Lions.
goes to our Budget and Financial
Y en
Services
cuanto
Department,
al
which is
enfoque
timely given
personal,
that we have the budget on the agenda
va al
tonight.
departamento
They
de
have
presupuestos,
received awards in recognition of outstanding governmental accounting and financial
recibieron
reporting.
premios
The
y
Association
reconocimientos
of School Business Officials honored them with a certificate of
como
excellence in
reportar
financial reporting for
de-
fiscal year ending in 2018. The Governmental
han
Finance
recibido
Officers
un certificado de
Association also
excelencia.
awarded financial services with a certificate of achievement for
Asociación
excellence in financial reporting.
Se corta la
Financial
transición.
Services has received these awards each year for more than 30 years. The awards represent a significant accomplishment and a high level of commitment to
premio
fiscal
representa un
integrity.
cumplimiento,
Congratulations.
un logro, un alto logro. Felicidades.
Is that all of them? Okay,
Eso era
perfect.
todo.
So
Bueno,
thank you again to
perfecto.
them. I think that was awesome. And also
Gracias
thank
a
you
ellos.
to
Creo que era
Superintendent
maravilloso.
Perry for her comments.
Y también
Couldn't agree more.
gracias
So
a la
thank you for doing that.
superintendente Perry por sus
So now we
comentarios.
move
Gracias
on
por hacerlo.
to public comment on
Entonces,
agenda
seguimos
items
adelante a los
only.
comentarios del público en cuanto a
This section of public
solamente
comments
para
for agenda items only.
los
If you are
artículos
commenting on the
de la
budget,
agenda.
we
Si está
will hear
comentando
that
en
during the
cuanto
budget
al
hearing.
presupuesto, vamos a escuchar
If you
eso
are commenting
durante la
on a
revisión del
non-agenda
presupuesto.
item,
Si
we
está
will
haciendo
hear that
comentario
comment later in the
acerca de
meeting.
una gente que
We provided a link on the
seleccionado
agenda,
de
which is
la
also on
agenda,
our
vamos a
website,
escuchar
for people to submit public
más
comment.
adelante.
The link provides details
Decimos
about
un
3
enlace
options for
por nuestro sitio
submitting
web
comment,
para dar comentarios.
either by
Y hay
written
3
comment,
aspectos para dar
pre-recorded video comment,
comentarios por
or call in
escrito
during the meeting.
o grabado,
We
un
also
video
provided
grabado
an email
anteriormente
address on the agenda,
o
which the
por
public
llamar la línea
could submit
directa.
comment.
Y también
We allow 3 minutes
colocamos
for each person to
un
comment.
formulario
Those
para
needing translation for their
dejar
public comment
comentarios.
will be provided 6 minutes total.
Y permitimos
Our
3 minutos para
communications
cada
team
comentario.
will facilitate public comment,
Nuestro
so I
equipo
will
de
turn this
comunicación
assignment over to them.
va a
Lillian, do we
apoyar el
have any
comentario
public
del
comment?
público. Y le tenemos comentario del público.
All of our public comment is related to the budget hearing, and then there is one item that is a non-agenda
Todos
item.
los comentarios
And
del público
Lillian, would
se
you talk about
relacionan
how
con
we
el
clustered
presupuesto.
the SRO comments, just
Pudiera
so the audience and
hablar de
everyone knows?
cómo
Yes.
agrupamos
So for all of the
las
comments
cosas.
that were submitted with regard to SROs, either
Todos
in
los
favor
comentarios
or
sometidos
against, those have all been
fueron
put with the
referentes
budget
al-
hearing as it relates to
los
defunding
agentes
that contract. So those
los
will all
agentes
be shared in
de
accordance
recursos
with the
escolares
budget
y
hearing.
los contratos.
Thank you.
Entonces se
Okay,
compartirán
That's good to know.
todos
Thank you for the detail
conforme
there.
al
Alrighty,
presupuesto.
so now it is time to open the
Gracias por los detalles.
2020-2021 budget hearing.
Ahora es el momento de abrir
A hearing on
la
the
audición
2020-21 budget is now open.
la audiencia del presupuesto de
So
2020.
Superintendent Perry, I'll turn this over to you for a summary.
Yeah, so let me just start with kind of context of where we are kind of in the
Déjame
financial
comenzar,
picture. So first
con
of
el
all,
contexto de
nothing's changed since our
dónde nos
last
encontramos en cuanto a
our
los
last
asuntos financieros.
budget approval, whenever that feels like it was 3 months ago. I think it was just a couple weeks ago.
De la
So
aprobación,
nothing has changed in the fiscal
nuestra
forecast.
última aprobación de
We
presupuesto
don't have any updated numbers
no
from
cambiaron nada
ODE. We, I think, are hearing that a special session of the
de la
legislature
declaración
is
de
in
ODE.
July.
Creo que la
And
legisladora
so we're not
se
expecting
lleva a
any
cabo en
additional
julio
information out of ODE or the state
respecto a la
legislature
transición.
before June 30th. We will, as of tomorrow, get the back to school guidance from ODE. That's a word we have. I think what we're hearing is the back to school guidance is going to require creating a district plan, which we've already worked towards. We know that some of the requirements of in-person learning will really require us to do things very differently. And we will have a good number of at-risk employees who will need to not come to work. So we're trying to wrap all that in to, which does have budget impacts, right? Even though I can't tell you exactly what they are. We still are expecting some federal CARES money. We still are hopeful for a $9 billion allocation out of the state school fund from the state legislature. And I think there's a path to it, even though I'm not, maybe at 50% in my crystal ball. So some things that we're doing, we have a gen fund, close to a gen fund reduction plan that we're really close to being ready to share. We believe we can get to the 38 million or 37 million with when we take the CARES Act and the furlough day plan and all, and a number of other tightening of the belt, increasing our beginning fund balance. We think we can do that without any significant layoffs. We think we can do it without layoffs at all, but I'm just holding out for that last little bit of information. And what that should signal to you is that we've done everything we can to lay out reductions if we get to 38 million in reductions without impacting classrooms in the same way. And I know that was something that was brought up. So whenever I say we're not I don't see us having a layoff, that's a really good sign. And that we've also really looked carefully in every place we could. The one place that might have to be the balancing account for is that we do have a large number, not large number is the right word, I can't remember the exact amount of licensed reserve, but we have positions in licensed reserve that we might have to hold if that really becomes a place where we need to balance the budget. So there might be a few less positions, but not in terms of a massive layoff, which I think is a really good place to be and should help us feel hopeful that we can weather this carefully. It does require dipping into reserves, and you have to remember that this is not a one-year problem. We're into easily the next biennium and likely the biennium after that from the budget forecasts I've seen. And I see that Director Blasi is nodding her head because I believe she just came off of seeing the slides for what the next two bienniums look like. So we'll need to be super cautious about that. But we also have so many unknowns. We just have to go with our best planning at this point. So that's really important to know. And I think that's also important for our staff to know that we're not signaling massive layoffs at this time, and we're in a really good position. We have plans around the SIA of what it might look like at 50% funding or 75% funding, and our plan needs to be that we get some feedback on the SIA if we get some funding, like what should be the most important priorities that we fund in the SIA. Craig and I were even talking a bit today about how do we still get in the planning phase, whether there's SIA or not for a couple schools to come on as dual language schools, not in 2021, but in 21, 22. So we're trying to think about how do we move initiatives, but also if we do get funds, because the corporate tax does have dollars there, if funds go into the SIA, we're going to try to get some feedback from our community groups about what are the most important things to fund. My guess about some of those will be things like our community, our CSOCs or our graduation specialists. Some of those things were really important to our community. And so we'll work to get some feedback on that. We still have a freeze on hiring on our student investment account because we still don't have any clear information even about our application from ODE. So as it pertains to the school resource officers, they are in the budget at on page 67 if you happen to have your budget book with you, but they're budgeted at a little over $1 million for the SRO contract. That is a contract for SROs that is with not only the city of Salem, but the city of Keizer and Marion County, because all three jurisdictions serve our schools. And so that is in the budget. What I do want you to know, though, and the community to know, is the SRO conversation is not dependent on whether you adopt or don't adopt the budget. This budget would even allow me or you to make a decision about the SRO contract at a later time. So it doesn't have to be today. So if you adopt the budget, that does not mean you're supporting the SRO contract. Just know it's an item in the budget adoption. And as I said last time, this gives us the flexibility to make all kinds of decisions. And I just want us to be sure that we really have a thoughtful conversation, be deliberate with some action, and we do that in the next couple of weeks. I'm working, I'd like to meet with our law enforcement leaders soon and to help engage them in having a conversation with our community about this. I think that's a healthy place for dialogue because if we don't have SROs in school, we will have police officers come to our school. So opening up the dialogue is a critical thing for us to do. And I know that our law enforcement leaders would be happy to do that. The sheriff and both chiefs regularly attend a number of our community-based organization groups anyway, so they're familiar to our community. And so what I would hope to do is in the next couple days, that by the end of this week, I've laid out an engagement or deliberate discussion plan with our community, that then we could begin launching, and we could come back to this as a conversation in the boardroom early July. We have plenty of time to make a decision prior to the start of school year. And as we think about, the other thing we have to think about is what does school look like next year? And as school looks different, how do things like SROs also potentially look different in our schools? So know that I'm 100% committed to that, and a decision around the budget doesn't have to come with that. Of course, you get to adopt the budget, so you get to make that decision to move it forward, to move the budget forward or not. But no, my commitment is I'll have the conversation with our community regardless of what you do along the budget process. So I think with that, the entire SRO contract is actually under $1 million. On page 67 in the book, the amount in that line item is a little over $1 million. So with that, I will turn it over to questions from the board or questions from the budget committee.
Estoy listo para cualquier tipo de
Do we have
pregunta de la
any
mesa
questions from
o del
our
comité de
board? Actually, let's start with the budget committee. Our budget committee, who we have
con
here.
el comité de presupuesto. ¿Algún tipo de pregunta?
Levy, do you have any questions?
Levi, ¿tienes alguna pregunta?
Not at this time, but Jacqueline is also here.
No, en este
Jacqueline,
momento,
do you have any
pero
questions
Jacqueline
in
está
regards to
también.
the budget?
None at this time.
Jacqueline, ¿tienes alguna pregunta?
Perfect. Thank you
No,
so
en
much.
este momento.
And Director Chanagiri,
Director Samagiri,
do you have any questions at this time?
¿tiene alguna pregunta en este momento?
Yes, I really want to thank you for right at the outset talking about this SRO issue. You know, with everything going on, our entire community is so traumatized, and everybody is going through all kinds of very scary and different emotions. So setting that stage was very good for me to kind of sift through all this. You know, I call it like triple drama, racism, violence, and COVID-19 all coming together. And it really helps us have a framework and think through this rather than allowing our fears alone to direct the entire budget process. So thank you very much. And hopefully it allows me to think through what this would look like.
Que estas emociones no sobrepasen la
Perfect. Thank you so much.
la certidumbre.
Director Kylo, do you have any questions?
Tomar.
Shaking your head no. So Director Blasi?
I don't have any questions, but I do appreciate the clarification about where we would have opportunities to take a look at the SRO contract. So thank you, Superintendent. And I look forward to the community conversation around that. So thank you.
Las conversaciones con la comunidad
Thank you, Director Blasi. All right, Director Bethel, do you have any questions?
I don't.
Director Bethel, no tiene
Ryan's
ninguna
not here. Director Goss?
I do have some questions, or I will have some questions, but I would rather hear from the community first. Thank you.
Perfect, thank you. And then I don't have any questions either. Again, we have no idea what everything's going to look like until we see, hear from the governor and the state as to what things are going to look like. So no questions here. Alrighty, so we will now hear public testimony on the 2020-21 budget. Lillian, do we have any testimony on the 2020-21 budget?
We do. We have testimony over the phone. We have video testimony, and we have written testimony. And so we are actually going to start with the call-in testimony so that those community members will not be left on hold.
Perfect. Well, you run this
Vamos a
thing
comenzar
as far
con
as
quienes
public
están
comment.
en la parte hablada, ya
Okay,
que
so our
los miembros
first
de la comunidad
caller
no,
is
no
Ryan, and
estén
he
en
is
espera.
on the line. I'm going to unmute Ryan. Okay,
Vamos
Ryan, you are live.
a conectar la voz
Hi,
de
thanks.
Ryan.
My name's Ryan Perkins. I live in Keizer. I'm a graduate of South Salem High School, and I'd like to ask the school board to terminate the intergovernmental agreement surrounding school resource officers in Salem-Keizer schools, and reinvest the total sum of that money into education in a way determined in consultation with educators and students of color. Police haven't always existed. The American institution of the police originated in Ranger patrols that committed genocide against indigenous peoples living on the lands colonizers stole as they pushed west. In slave patrols that enforced the shameful property rights of slave owners, and in strike-breaking forces that were called in to protect the capital of business owners and murder workers who stood up against their own exploitation. This historical legacy informs police methods and behavior all across the country, as we've seen in literally, without exaggeration, hundreds of videos from the last 2 weeks. The police are meant to ensure that residents of their communities comply with a social order that exploits working class people, and especially Black people, Indigenous people, and other people of color. They're authorized by the state to use violence to achieve that goal. They're authorized to use as much of it as they want to. And as we've seen for years, but especially in the last 2 weeks, they won't hesitate to murder and maim people. Besides the very real risk of physical violence that their mere presence in our schools brings, they also substantially increase the likelihood that students will find themselves incarcerated. Studies show that when police have more contact with the community, they're more likely to arrest members of that community. They also show that 99 out of every 100 arrests leads to jail time, and that jail time increases a person's chances of being found guilty, receiving a harsher sentence, and committing future crimes. These arrest records also generate and sustain problems outside of the criminal justice system itself. People with arrest records face substantial difficulty finding employment, credit, and housing. But you don't need studies to know any of this, because students and community members have been telling you about their own experiences with these problems for some time already. So again, I'd like to ask you that the school district divest all of the funds that go to the police and put them into our students, working with community organizations led by people of color, and spend that money on hiring more staff and teachers of color, create ethnic studies curricula, and culturally responsive extracurricular programs for Black and brown students. I yield my time.
Perfect. Thank you so much. And who do we have next?
Okay, our next caller is Sandra, and she is on the line. Sandra, you are live. Maybe. I'm going to look up our next caller just in case she needs a minute.
Va a buscar por el próximo persona a participar a través de llamada telefónica.
Okay, we can try coming back to Sandra in a second. Our next caller is Deborah, and Deborah, you're on the line.
Deborah, estás en la línea.
Yes, good evening.
Thank you.
Directors and Superintendent. Okay, Directors and Superintendent Perry, thank you so much for your time this evening. My name is Deb Patterson. I'm the mother of 2 young adults who graduated from South Salem High School about 5 years ago. I'd like to speak to the budget proposal related to continued funding for school resource officers. In these days of difficult choices related to budgets, I would like to point out that according to the National Center for Education Statistics, in 2015, the most recent year for which federal data was available, only 45% of schools had a school resource officer. So more than half of the schools in America seem to be doing fine without them. Which schools have SROs? Again, according to the NCES, schools with more racially diverse student bodies were 13% more likely to have SROs. Schools with higher numbers of students from lower income families were 24% more likely to have SROs, and schools with more than 1,000 students were 25% more likely to have SROs. So large, diverse schools, like most of the schools in the Salem-Keizer School District. Some say that SROs are deterrents to mass shootings, but we have heard of mass shootings at schools with school resource officers, so clearly they were not a deterrent in those cases. In addition, among those referred to law enforcement, students of color are disproportionately represented among those detained by SROs. According to education rules, while Black students make up 16% of U.S. public school enrollment during the 2011-2012 school year, they represented 27% of those referred to law enforcement by schools and 31% of those who were subject to school-related arrests. Sadly, the indicators are that these numbers have changed little in the ensuing years, and significant disparities also exist for Latinx students and other students of color. I would urge the Salem-Keizer School District and the City of Salem to revisit the budget and invest in funding for more school counselors, teaching assistants, and other needed educators rather than investing in school resource officers. Thank you for your time.
Thank you so much. Alrighty, who do we have next?
Thank you.
I'm going to try to see if I can reach Sandra again. Sandra, are you on the line?
Yes. Can you hear me now?
Yes, we can hear you. Thank you.
Can you? Okay. My name is Sandra Hernandez, and I work for Latinos Unidos Siempre. I am the director. So I am speaking on behalf of all the youth that we serve, more than 2,000 youth over the last 25 years in the Salem-Keizer School District. So I'm with the students I serve today to demand that the Salem-Keizer School District, superintendent, board members, and district officials stand in solidarity with Black and brown students by ending all funding that places police in our schools, known as school resource officers, by terminating its contract with the Salem-Keizer Police Department and the Marion County Sheriff's Office, and any other law enforcement agency. We demand that these divested funds are reinvested into improving our education. In the last few weeks, the world has witnessed the brutal death of George Floyd, a Black unarmed man, brother, son, and community member, killed by Minneapolis police. We deeply mourn with George Floyd's family, and we stand with Black communities across the nation. Now more than ever, we are committed to dismantling the systems and institutions of oppression that kill Black and brown people, and that put us in prisons, and that push us into the margins. That is why we demand that the Salem-Keizer School District and all funding going into police in schools immediately and indefinitely. We demand that the Salem-Keizer School District terminate, do not renew contract with the Salem-Keizer Police Department and Marion County Sheriff's Office that places SROs in Salem-Keizer public schools. Thanks to the students from New York University, we now know that the school district spends about $20 million on policing within schools annually. And I want you all to understand that by policing, what we mean is something that includes all the systemic issues around policing, not just SROs. This includes staff, administrative, operational, and equipment costs. Policing can include school security guards, security cameras, behavioral specialists, etc. So this is about removing the infrastructure that increases and encourages policing of students, especially students of color and students with disabilities. So when we talk about police-free schools, we know this is just the beginning to ending the systematic policing of our school district. Additionally, the federal government has invested over $14 billion since 1992 on policing in schools across the nation. This is a call for us to reinvest in our education. Police violence towards Black and brown communities is not just an interpersonal racial issue. It is a system and institutional issue that must be ended. By ending funding that goes into police in our school district will show that it prioritizes the safety of students of color and their education. Current funding that goes into policing students can be invested to improve education. So here are the ways we are demanding that the school district divest school police funds to support Black and Indigenous students of color in the following way. So I hope you give me a few more minutes to finish up, because this is extremely important, and I'm speaking on behalf of many students of color. We just need to finish up our demands.
Yeah, I totally understand, and I really want to thank you for coming out. I think it's really important. We do have to stick to the 3 minutes, unfortunately, just because we have to make sure that everybody gets the time to speak. However, I would be more than willing to, if you sent that email to us, to any of us would be willing to read it and respond.
Yes, everything has been sent by email, so read over our demands, which include how you can divest those police funds into supporting students of color.
Perfect. Again, and I thank you so much for that. I'm sorry to cut you off, but we do have to stick to it. Alrighty. Who do we have next?
Okay, next we have Luis. Luis, you are live. Please make sure your TV or stream is on mute so we can hear you clearly.
Which include how you can divest those police funds into supporting students of color.
Perfect. Again, and I thank you so much for that.
Need to mute probably his other device.
Yes.
Who do we have?
Okay, what's up?
Okay, next
we have communication. I can hear what
Luis, if you're on the line, please mute your stream.
Can you all hear me?
Yes, we can hear you. Can you please put your other video on mute?
Hi, my name is Luis Acosta. Growing up undocumented, the police were never my friend. Every day growing up as a child, I lived with the thought at the back of my head that any day I could become deported, arrested, or murdered by the hands of police or ICE brutality. Seeing the SROs patrol the schools that I attended, the strain of toxic stress that white people such as you all, the school board members, will never understand. But enough is enough, and now it's time for you to understand. Students of color are sick and tired of the systems of oppression that you impose into our public schools. When the police look at us, they don't see us as human beings or even as students, but instead just for the color of our skin. When the police look at us, they don't care about us pursuing higher education, but instead they look for any reason to belittle, oppress, and incarcerate us. The Salem-Keizer Public School District currently allocates $20 million into the policing of public schools. In the near future, this district is going to face a whopping $48 million in budget cuts. When that happens, when is this district going to start divesting and removing the systems of policing from our public schools? When are you all going to start hiring less resource officers, but instead more teachers, and specifically, crucially, more teachers of color? When are you all going to start investing into more resources and programs and classes to benefit and not hurt brown and black youth? With the atmosphere that we are currently living in, this decision from you all better be soon. This was possible in Portland, and I know that it's possible here in Salem too. Invest in us. Show us that you care more about your students than you do about SROs. That's all I have to say. Thank you.
Thank you so much for coming to speak. Really appreciate that.
Gracias por
and who do we have next?
Okay, next, I believe we should have Tony on the line. Tony, are you there?
Próximo tenemos a Tony.
Hello, can y'all hear me?
Yes, we can hear you. Please be sure to mute your TV or stream in the background if it's on.
Tu otra transmisión está en silencio.
Okay. My name is Sonny Villanada. I am 17 years old, and I go to North Salem High School. I have been attending school board meetings for 3 years, and I have not seen any changes surrounding the school-to-prison pipeline. You are actively supporting and funding. I saw my closest peers expelled and suspended and arrested. When I was 12 years old, I was walking down the street to go to the park, and I randomly got stopped by 4 police officers. One of the officers' name was Officer Rios. They had guns drawn at me. I was just 12 years old. I'm a brown kid experiencing racially profiling by the police. They detained me and were trying to find something to get me in trouble. They didn't call my mom and inform her that her own child got detained by Salem police. They asked questions like if I was a gang member. I was just 12 years old. Ever since that day, my life has changed. I was scared to go outside because if I moved an inch that day, I would be probably another person of color dead with no justice. These trauma experiences don't only happen to me. It happened to every black and brown person in the United States. These traumatic experiences are real, and folks like you stay silent. What kind of person does that? When you stay silent, you uphold white supremacy. You should divest police presence in school because you do not know the traumatic experiences students of color have with the police. Education and police don't belong together. When a person of color knows that there's a police presence, they are wondering if the police officer is going to arrest them because of skin color, or if immigration customs enforcement, also known as ICE, will be involved. You have more people. We need more people of color as teachers, and in the Salem-Keizer School District, and more classes, ethnic classes, and studies for middle school and high school students. The Salem-Keizer School District invests about $20 million annually on police and students. You are more guilty for investing more on continuing our trauma and toxic stress than you have invested in our right to be able to feel safe in schools and youth of color.
Queremos que invierta más para que nos sientamos seguros en las escuelas, pero no de esa manera.
Tony, I want to say thank you for coming out to speak. I mean, you're right. Most of us can't imagine the pain or what it would feel like, to feel like you're being racially profiled. And I mean, I can't say I know what that's like, but I can say that, a lot of things you're talking about are things we're talking about with the SIA and other things as well. So I just want to say thank you for coming out. We appreciate that. And who do we have next?
Next on the call list is Gerald, I believe. Gerald, you are live.
Hello. Good evening, and thank you for having me. My name is Gerald Turner, and I am a teacher who works for Salem-Keizer Public Schools. Almost 2 weeks ago, Superintendent Christy Perry challenged educators to find ways to be actively anti-racist. My testimony tonight is a small part of my answer to that challenge. Before I begin, I need to make perfectly clear that although my experience as an educator informs my testimony, what I say is not and should not be construed to be a representation of the views of the district. It is instead my plea as an employee, as a parent of 2 young children, and as a member of this community. I urge the board to take action to end the presence of school resource officers in our schools. In a time of national pain and soul searching about the role of police in society, and a time of impending budget cuts, we cannot afford, ethically or financially, to continue this practice. Research has shown, time and again, that the use of police in schools does not reduce disciplinary incidents or criminal conduct. Instead, the presence of school resource officers has been shown to increase referrals from schools to the criminal justice system. When criminal charges are brought due to conduct at schools, students of color are disproportionately affected. In preparing for this testimony, I have listened to dozens of community members who had a variety of opinions on the use of school resource officers. Many individuals have had positive experiences with individual SROs, and I do not want to discount those experiences. Building relationship and community is at the heart of what we do in education, but we must look for options that will provide those same positive experiences without criminalizing our students of color. Earlier in this meeting, we were discussing matters relating to the school budget. Going forward, we will clearly need to make cuts and decide what programs are worth keeping and how our resources are being used. The funds allocated for SROs could be used for increased counseling staff, school nurses, or other student support services. It is time to consider how we allocate our scarce resources. I urge the board to follow the example of Portland Public Schools and withdraw support for the School Resource Officer Program in order to fund community building alternatives within our schools. Thank you.
Thank you so much. All right, who do we have next?
Okay, I believe we have Vicente. Vicente, you are on the line.
Tenemos a Vicente, el próximo que va a hablar.
I think. Vicente, are you on? I will jump to our next caller.
Creo que va a tratar de hablar a otra persona porque
our next caller is Alex. Alex, you are on the line.
La próxima persona es Alex. ¿Está en la línea ya?
Alex, are you on the phone?
Alex, ¿estás en el teléfono?
Vicente, are you on the line?
¿O Vicente? ¿Estás en línea?
Hello? Can you guys hear me?
Sí.
Yes.
¿Me pueden oír?
Please go ahead.
Hello, my name is Alex Navarro.
Soy Alex Navarro.
I'm going to be speaking on behalf of a family member.
Te voy a hablar.
Hello, my name is Vicente Olivar. I have been attending Salem-Keizer School District for 11 years now.
Sí,
I have been to Yoshikai Elementary, Scott Elementary. What? Scott Elementary, and Four Corners Elementary, and Houck Middle School, and North High School, and now attending South High School. I had to move to different schools because of housing crisis. And as you know, you may know this is common for the students that you serve in the district. Living in poverty makes it harder for us to succeed. Poverty, along as with institutionalized racism, are the gas of the Salem-Keizer school-to-prison pipeline. 2 weeks ago, we witnessed the murder of George Floyd by the hands of a white police officer. This year, you have seen the murder of innocent people that have been murdered only because of their skin color. Being a person of color, I know how it feels to be pointed at point-blank range by a police officer. I had 2 encounters with police officers. One of the encounters was when I was trying to get into my own house. The cop pointed the gun at me because he thought I was trying to break into my own house, even though I was opening up with my key. All he saw was my brown skin. The cop said that I looked sketchy. I was very, very lucky that one of my mentors were there in his car since he was dropping me off. If my mentor wasn't there to witness, I would have been shot. Another instance is when I was walking home from the store and they said that I had matched a description of a person that stole something. I had showed them the purchase receipt, but I knew they had racially profiled me for being brown. As you can see, having police officers in schools brings trauma and fear to people of color. Having officers in schools puts students at risk and increases the school-to-prison pipeline. That is why, as a student of color in the Salem-Keizer School District, I demand that our district defunds policing and reinvest in my education and the education for all my 4 younger siblings. Don't get it twisted. So SROs are not the title. They're not the tip of the problem. We want you to defund policing. And thank you.
Thank you, Alex. I appreciate you coming to speak on behalf of your family. All right, who do we have next?
Okay, so that concludes all of our callers. I believe Adriana was gonna go next, and then Lillian will follow up with reading some of the written comments. Adriana?
Well, good evening, everyone. Chair Hay and Vice Chair Leopold and members of the board. For the record, my name is Adriana Miranda. I'm the Executive Director of Causa, Oregon Immigrant Aid Organization, and I come before you tonight as a concerned leader, parent, and active member of this community. We're all feeling anger, rage, and sadness of yet another Black man murdered in the hands of police in Minneapolis. We stand in solidarity with our Black community as we mourn the loss of George Floyd and the many other Black lives murdered in the hands of police brutality. I'm here tonight to show full support for the letter that was sent by Luz and stand behind the demands articulated in that letter. We demand our school district to reinvest all the funds that go into police and reinvest into schools to improve educational outcomes for our Black and brown students. The presence of school resource officers in our schools, although meant to be better trained to be in schools, their presence have always supported the school-to-prison and deportation pipeline and increasing decriminalization of Black and brown students. Policing goes beyond police presence in schools, and it involves infrastructures in schools that criminalize students. We will no longer stand to support these systems that kill Black and brown people and pushes our students to the margins. Since the mid-90s, police have increasingly become more significantly funded than our educational systems, and we must end the intergenerational harm done to Black and brown students and rather reinvest into systems of restorative justice and closing the opportunity gap for these students. I highly encourage our leadership team at Salem-Keizer and the board of directors to lead a community-led and centered process that would focus on redirecting funds to systems and reinvesting these resources into our most vulnerable students. Thank you so much for your time tonight.
Now we're going to move into a portion of comments that have been submitted via email. Following those, we'll show comments that have been submitted via video, and then we'll come back for comments that were submitted online. So we have a number of comments here, and so I will read them and identify who they're from and where they reside. Our first comment is from Kalia Flocker. She is a resident of Turner. Dear Salem-Keizer School Board, it is time for our district to divest all funds spent on police and reinvest it in our schools with the purpose of better supporting our students. As a teacher in the Salem-Keizer School District, I believe it is in the best interest of all of our students that we spend the money currently being spent on school resource officers in a manner that is preventative, educational, and healing. Police presence in schools only increases a sense of fear among students and shows a distrust of our children. Instead, we need to spend this money on things like increased mental health resources, ethnic studies courses, hiring teachers of color, and funding culturally responsive activities before and after school hours. There are so many better ways we can use the funds we currently spend on policing our students. Our students need support and education, not police. The next comment is from Gisela Espinosa. My name is Janella Espinosa. I am a former student of the Salem-Keizer School District. This email is regarding police budgeting and why I believe cops and security guards should not be on our school. Since middle school, my experience with the police and security hasn't been well. They have always been there to intimidate rather than protect. I went to Parish Middle School, a low-income school with a majority of brown students, and I have seen people I grew up with get detained. They were children. No child should be detained and incarcerated, especially in a place that is meant for learning and growth. As for security guards, many security guards I know have always intimidated the students and have used their authority to coerce young women. The security guards I had would joke about using drugs with me. They would also look to criminalize the brown students at my school. I was followed off campus during a release period by security guards. He took time out of both our days to intimidate me and threaten me with disciplinary actions if I did not cooperate. I also have 2 younger siblings who attend Parish Middle School and 2 Black little brothers who will most likely attend Parish Middle School in the future. I do not feel safe having them in our schools. The budgeting for security and for police should go toward our education. Schools such as McKay and North are overcrowded and need more classrooms. The low-income schools need better books and teachers should be getting paid more. Students are under the care of the Salem-Keizer School District for 7 hours of the day, and many students don't feel safe nor want to go to school because of how criminalized they are for the color of their skin. I have been to school board meetings and seen the school board silence the community for speaking out about this issue. The district needs to do better. Respectfully, a student of color who is exhausted. Our next comment is from Emma Dorland. Dear Salem-Keizer School Board members, I've been deeply moved and outraged by what we're experiencing these past 2 weeks here and worldwide. Unfortunately, our society, systems, and institutions are engineered to exclude, marginalize, and even attack and kill Black humans, in addition to Indigenous people and people of color. This may or may not be something you are aware of prior to the outpouring of support for Black lives that we've seen across the world and at the Salem Capitol building last Saturday. If you are not aware of the implications of being white, please understand, and I speak to you as a white person here, that our lack of awareness has the profundity, urgency, and persistence of this problem is because we are used to benefiting from the world
the way our world is engineered. Of course, we only benefit in privileges. Meanwhile, our humanity, our conscience, and our consciousness, the very essence of who we truly are, is diminished each time we make unconscionable choices or sit by and support others who do. At this time, it is unconscionable to continue to fund the school resource officers that work in the Salem-Keizer public schools. I am a fourth grade teacher in our bilingual program here in town, and I speak and stand in solidarity with the NAACP, Latinos Unidos Siempre, Causa Oregon, PACUN, and many other organizations across our city and state in demanding that SKPS terminate and does not renew any contracts it holds with the Salem Police Department. All of the funds that support school-based policing must be reinvested to support our students' well-being, mental health, extracurricular, and academic achievement. Policing our students in school is proven through research to have been a dysfunctional practice that only exacerbates disproportionate incarceration of young people of color in particular. The school-to-prison and deportation pipeline is real, and supporting it or participating in it in any way whatsoever is unconscionable. Together today, we can live our values and truly protect our students. Divest all funds from the police and reinvest in school improvements. Our next comment is from Claire Clark, a South Salem resident. Dear school board members, along with many others, I believe you must end the school resource officer program this year. As you face the extreme budget challenges during the months ahead, including the possibility of reducing the number of teachers, it is difficult to justify spending limited funds on policing in our schools. Our next comment is from Laura Vigeland. I apologize if I mispronounced that last name. Sorry, Laura. She's a Salem-Keizer Public Schools employee. Good evening, school board members. My name is Laura Vigeland, and I work for the Salem-Keizer Public Schools as a speech language pathologist. I am also a resident of Salem. I am sure you are aware by now that the systemic racism permeates all aspects of our society, including education. I am writing to you today to affirm that Black Lives Matter and that our school district needs to do more to support our Black students and staff. In particular, I am writing to support the petition that is being submitted to you tonight, demanding that Salem-Keizer Public Schools divest all the funds that go into police and reinvest into schools to improve education. The presence of police in our schools contributes to the school-to-prison deportation pipeline that threatens our Black students and students of color. Our school district must no longer support these systems that oppress or even kill our students and community members. Instead, this money should be spent on resources that can help our minority students and improve education. It is time for Salem-Keizer Public Schools to take action that says our Black students' lives matter. Thank you for listening. Our next public comment is from Nadine Lecheminant. I'm sorry, Nadine. Nadine is from Salem, Oregon. Dear school board members, I would like to add my voice to the growing chorus of concern about the school resource officer program. This program has no place in our public schools. This will perhaps be the most challenging year for school budgets we have ever seen. One clear way to save funds for critical areas is to defund this needless, indefensible, and harmful program. We should allocate limited funds for teachers, student programs, learning materials, computer labs, and building maintenance, not an armed security force. Students have clearly said they do not feel the school resource officer program makes them feel more secure or safe. They are your most important constituents. Please listen to them. It's time to retire armed officers in our schools. Our next comment is from Jennifer McGee. She says, I would like to see the contract that Salem-Keizer has with the police be used for more counselors and smaller class sizes instead of increasing and maxing out security at schools, build more community schools, put more investment in the front end. Our next comment is from Ray Quisenberry. Dear school board members, it's time to take the police out of our schools and replace them with professionals that are trained in mentoring and providing support to our students. The police are not the ones to do this work. We need caring, not intimidation. We need understanding and kindness, not a show of force. Many minority communities distrust the police, and that distrust is also present in the children of these communities. Being a young person in today's society is hard enough without adding another level of stress. Thank you.
Es muy difícil ver un niño de minoría dice.
Our next comment is from Meg Hummin, who is a South Salem resident. Dear School Board, having school resource officers in our schools was a single response to many problems, most not related to law enforcement. It has proven to have unintended negative consequences, and our students are telling us that they do not feel safer. Our taxes could support other responses that have proven effective elsewhere and that fit our objectives for our schools, our teachers, and our students. There's an old saying about a play: if there is a gun present in the first act, it will go off in the third act. That is not a good way to approach education. Our next comment is from Alan Scott of Salem. He says, please reconsider the need for these 24J funded positions. I think that money could be better spent on counseling or other positive support staff. Our next public comment is from Chandra Tim. Hello, concerned Salem citizen here. I hope that during the meeting today regarding Salem-Keizer school budgets, you consider ending SRO programs and police contracts. Police presence in the schools do not contribute to an environment of safety, especially to the students of color. We could reinvest into resources that do make the students and staff feel supported. We need funds to go toward wraparound services, restorative justice, and mental, emotional, behavioral support systems. Our next comment is from Angelique Prater, and she is a graduate of South Salem High School. Hello, my name is Angelique Prater, and I'm a 2020 graduate from South Salem High School. Recently, Christy Perry, our superintendent, has made public statements about her commitment to find ways to actively demonstrate anti-racism. However, as a student of color, I do not believe that being anti-racist is having a few trainings or having a few meetings with educators. In my experience, all of the racism in the Salem-Keizer School District has been systemically perpetuated. My peers and I come to almost every single school board meeting where we testify against the school to prison pipeline. My comrade Tony has given you his piece from Teen Vogue on the school to prison pipeline. Yet every time we are met with the school board members and a superintendent that ignores us, we give our speeches and we are met with no response. Or if we have a response, it is school board members like Marty Hyen who interrupt us, which, might I add, she is a school board member that takes pictures with literal white supremacist groups. The members of our school board who have their jobs because of us consistently push us to the side. You ignore our experiences. You ignore the fact that the existence of systems like the police or school resource officers in our schools creates a direct path for students of color and students in poverty to end up in prison. Some of my peers have even have siblings that are currently incarcerated because of this pipeline. How can you commit to anti-racism for publicity during the Black Lives Matter movement, but actively ignore youth of color in your district when they have been speaking up about their experiences for years? My peers have had very different experiences with the police than I have. They are pulled out of class by school resource officers, targeted because of their records, and the officers instigate issues with them. However, the police have never had a reason to target me until my final years in high school. I was always the tokenized person of color at my school because I was able to maintain high academic standing while having undocumented parents. But when I began advocating for justice and trying to create equality in my school, I became a target for police. As walkouts for environmental sustainability, racial justice, or transgender rights, my principal would ask the police officers to follow me all the way to the Capitol. It made a space where youth of color in my school did not feel that they could advocate for justice in these walkouts because they felt that the police would do something to them. The police became a barrier to improving conditions in our school, and they still are. If you are genuinely committed to being anti-racist, you would be willing to take direct action against the systems that perpetuates racism in your school district. As you know, the Portland School Board voted to defund school resource officers in the schools earlier this week. Today, I am here to ask that our school board does just the same. Defund the presence of police officers in our school, replace police officers with mental health resources, more counselors, and culturally competent classes. And I would just like to apologize right now because I remembered that our translator asked me to speak slowly during the public comments, and I am afraid that I am not honoring her request. So moving forward,
I will try to ensure that I speak slower so that our translators who are doing the live stream in Spanish right now have an opportunity to translate that. Our next comment is from Alondra Sanchez. Hi, my name is Alondra. I'm 14 years old, and this is not my first time speaking to you about the concerns I have in my school district. The toxic stress my peers and I have felt in Salem-Keizer schools because of the constant policing is no secret. The harassment that I have felt during the school years at the hands of security guards and teaching staff caused me to be here today because I shouldn't have experienced that trauma in the first place. Policing has been used as a tool to threaten students of color. I personally have experienced being criminalized for simply not turning in my work on time, even though I was going through a lot. Instead of being
criminalización simplemente por no entregar mis tareas a tiempo, aunque estuve experimentando muchas cosas. La conducta de la escuela a la cárcel, la hipercriminalización ha causado las vidas y han probado que no están para proteger a la gente de color en nuestra comunidad por mucho tiempo. Por eso, demandamos a que los SRO y la patrulla, la mejora de educación, porque no necesitamos a los agentes en las escuelas. Ya no aguantamos el sistema que mata a las personas de color por el daño que ha causado a nuestras comunidades. Estoy llamando a todos y exigiendo que hagan lo correcto. Nuestro comentario del público es de Eric Parkinson. Todo se siente frustrado y fatigado físicamente, mentalmente. Se corta la transmisión. Hoy más que nunca, la comunidad quiere apoyar. La experiencia no es válida. La voz unificada debe ser escuchada. El próximo comentario es de Hannah Margerson y dice: hola, al sistema escolar. Estoy mandando correo electrónico para expresar mi interés a que corten el contrato del programa de SRO y nosotros la gente le estamos rogando a cumplir con estas para las escuelas. Hemos visto brutalidad policíaca durante todas las vidas. En vez de gastar el dinero para trabajadores sociales, la policía de Salem solamente con el presupuesto que han pasado años de su vida en aumentar y mejorar la comunidad. Estoy llamándoles a reducir de manera dramática el presupuesto. Se corta la transmisión. No se puede confiar en la policía. Asamblea, en particular la comunidad de color, tenemos que hacerlo mejor, especialmente para los más vulnerables entre nosotros. Se corta la transmisión. La comunicación siguiente, el comentario del público, Lía, desafíos y cómo el distrito ha trabajado sin cesar Estamos al momento de más conciencia racial, navegar el camino hacia adelante y la conexión directa con la historia de los afroamericanos, no solo abordar el estatus de los estudiantes. Asegurarse que haya un entorno seguro para cada estudiante por terminar el contrato. Se corta la transición. La falta de esfuerzo del distrito y la mesa directiva en tomar acción antirracista en la comunicación académica. El ignorar las injusticias de la intolerancia de los demás. La ciencia ha probado sobre mucho tiempo que los estudiantes de color están sacados de sus salones de clases con una tasa de un factor que se les guía a un mentor confiado, ejemplar para estudiantes incontables. Esperamos a dirigir por ejemplo y ser un espacio seguro para los estudiantes. En ese momento, servir a sus estudiantes de color requiere afirmar su estatus de una institución antirracista y comprometer a su distrito y al plan de estudio, a actualizar el plan de estudio. Se corta la transmisión. Las conversaciones acerca de la raza impactan las vidas de los estudiantes. Les pido al distrito del distrito escolar de Salem-Keizer. El próximo comentario es de Jim Shetsky de Salem. Estimada mesa directiva, quiero agregar mi voz. Debemos terminar el programa de los agentes de recursos escolares. No puedo imaginar cómo justifican la presencia de policía en las escuelas. Los estudiantes han indicado que no quieren a los oficiales y nada más contribuyen a la conducta de la escuela a la cárcel. Cuando solo tienen un martillo, todo parece como problema de la sociedad. Tiene problema en el desamparado, adicción a las drogas, problemas con la conducta en la escuela. Parece como clavo. El comentario siguiente del público es de Gerald Santiago de Salem. Estimado mesa directiva y los directores, mientras el distrito siga adelante, se corta la transición. Dinero para maestros, personal de salud mental, para que sean informados, para ayudar a los estudiantes a desarrollar sus posibilidades. La ciencia es clara, los estudiantes no pueden aprender bajo este estrés. Se corta la transmisión. Nuestro próximo comentario del público es de Sol, ex estudiante. Se corta la transmisión. Al saber la historia, la comunidad de color no tendría el sentido de continuar con los fondos de desarrollo. Muchas veces significa amenaza a LGBTQ. En vez debe ser proporcionada a mejores almuerzos escolares, mejor equipo, recursos que en verdad beneficiarán al futuro de los estudiantes. Se corta la transmisión. Yo me acuerdo de recibir la enseñanza de los consejeros, no poder ayudarme adecuadamente, me hacen recordar de los fracasos del distrito. Tomar el paso apropiado en terminar la relación con los agentes de recursos escolares. Próximo comentario dice: hola, soy residente de Salem. Creo que debemos quitar la policía de nuestras escuelas y terminar la conducta de la escuela a la cárcel. Demando a que terminen y mover el dinero o los fondos. No necesitamos la policía en nuestras escuelas, el aprendizaje y no a la cárcel. Tenemos dos comentarios adicionales para compartir. El siguiente, de Salem. Hola. Se entiende que el distrito escolar de Salem-Keizer está enfrentando crisis de presupuesto y también no hay diferencia en todo el distrito. Los miembros de la mesa directiva van a enfrentar algunas decisiones difíciles. Nuestra nación, que merece nuestros esfuerzos y tiempo. Una examinación profunda. Por favor, termine este acuerdo de los fondos. Los de Gary Miller y Holly Oaks Miller de Salem. Exhortamos a la mesa directiva a escuchar las voces de la comunidad, utilizar este momento. Latinos Unidos Siempre y otros miembros de la comunidad, que la mesa directiva quita todos sus fondos para invertir los fondos a los estudiantes negros y morenos. Dos personas sometieron videos, entonces voy a compartir la pantalla acá. La primera es de Sarah Evans. Voy a asegurarme que está bien. Ya vamos. Hola, mi nombre es Sarah Evans y soy mamá de dos niños que asisten a la escuela primaria Englewood y vivo en Salem. Esta semana la superintendente del distrito escolar de Portland tomó la decisión de quitar los oficiales de las escuelas públicas de Portland. Estoy exhortando a que hagan igual en las escuelas de Salem. Cuando los estudiantes están arrestados o expulsados de la escuela, entonces dejan de asistir a las clases porque no se sienten seguros. Tampoco no están recibiendo la ayuda necesaria para mejorar su conducta. Trabajadores sociales, consejeros en vez de policía. La investigación indica que las prácticas de justicia restaurativa son más eficaces para ayudar a los estudiantes que causa asuntos de la conducta. Cuando los estudiantes se sientan juntos para escuchar las consecuencias de sus esfuerzos, y preparan una manera para reparar sus acciones, se sienten mejor también, sienten que la escuela en verdad le aprecian. Mis niños han compartido experiencias de dificultades en cuanto a su condición de ADHD, pero son blancos. Y reconozco completamente que mi familia me está tratado diferente. Yo temo a los compañeros de clase negros y morenos. Cuando llegan cuando sean más grandes. Escuché esta semana que nuestra superintendente apoya a tomar acción directamente en contra del racismo. Gracias por escuchar.
Hello, my name is Virginia Stapleton and I live here in Salem, Oregon. I have 2 kids in the Salem-Keizer School District and serve on the school board's budget committee. Many people have spoken out today about removing police from our schools and this may leave some people feeling uncomfortable and vulnerable, and I just want to speak to that tonight. If this is you, I ask that you lean into those feelings. That feeling of unease and vulnerability is something that our Black and Brown community feels every day.
Reconozco que muchas de las personas que están participando en esta estoy teniendo problemas con la conexión.
It will cost you. I fear that many people right now are speaking out. They might even be attending rallies or participating in marches, making signs and sharing memes, which are all really great.
Entendemos que hay mucha gente que está participando en marchas y manifestaciones.
And I want you to know and remember that justice is not free, and we must realize that it's going to cost us.
Quería recordarles que la justicia no es gratuita.
And it will cost you a bruised ego.
En el futuro esto va a tener un costo en tiempo, en tiempo y en dinero.
And are close to, and sometimes that's going to result in painful, strained relationships. You might have a feeling of loss of power or control, and that's all to be expected. It's all very good and healthy right now. It's what we need. I encourage you to grapple with these perceived losses and then let them go. Come and stand alongside those in our minority groups and become an ally. Sit under the teachings of people of color, study, learn, practice self-examination, humble yourself, and stick with it. Like me, you will be learning and unlearning for a very long time, and it's vital that we don't give up. I understand that many of you have had positive interactions with school resource officers and see value in those interactions and relationships.
Entiendo que muchos de ustedes han tenido interacciones positivas con el personal de intercomunicación del distrito. Y mi entusiasmo es para ustedes para que continúen teniendo este tipo de interacciones positivas con ella. La comunicación sigue cortando. Es difícil. Está invitando a la comunidad que participa más en las reuniones de la mesa directiva.
This is an amazing opportunity to recreate the world in which we live. Thank you.
Great. So we actually have a third video, but we've got to change the format so that we can share it. So I will dig in
De hecho, tenemos
comments that were submitted through the form online.
Tenemos algunos más comentarios públicos que de tenemos y he tenido que verificar que estos no son los mismos que han sido compartidos a través de correo electrónico.
part. So I apologize for that, but we will make sure we get to those public comments as well. Our next public comment is from Cindy Gayton. Hello, I'm Cindy.
Nuestro próximo comentario público es de parte de Cindy Kemen. Soy miembro de la comunidad, soy graduado de la preparatoria del distrito escolar. Y la conozco como la palma de mi mano. El tiempo para tomar responsabilidad acerca de estas situaciones está más que vencido. Tenemos que poner más atención y cuidado a las comunidades hispanas y afroamericanas. Ustedes como distrito no pueden seguir estableciendo que a ustedes les importa el distrito ignorando esta situación. Nosotros necesitamos establecer que se redirijan los fondos a SR a destino educativo del
showing solidarity with youth of color with their meaningful actions, and it's time for you to do the same.
Y es momento para que ustedes hagan lo mismo.
The next public comment is from Raquel Marquez Guerrero. And she's
El próximo comentario es de Raquel.
My name is Raquel Marquez, and I have attended Scott Elementary, Waldo Middle,
Raquel
and McCain
Marquez.
High School, which have been predominantly low-income students of color, and for as long as I can remember.
Y asisto a la escuela intermedia Waldo y la mayoría de los asistentes son de bajos recursos.
I was angered not only because they checked his backpack and him physically, but because this was allowed to happen. My brother was pulled out of class and lost quality time of learning simply because he went to
Hay una situación que me molesta mucho y es que tanto a mí como a mi hermano siempre nos revisan para determinar si estamos en posesión de algún tipo de droga por parte del oficial de policía. Y esto nos afecta
in more counselors, college readiness, and extracurriculars, especially at McKay where there is already overcrowding.
y la solicitud es que se reubique estos fondos, se refinancie esto en asesores educativos y en programas educativos. Por favor, paren de financiar el fondo policial y redirijan esos fondos a la mejora de los programas educativos. Comentarios de Gisela Espinosa. En vez de seguir financiando la presencia policial en las escuelas, por favor, inviertan en más espacios en los salones de clase y en las escuelas que están dirigidas a las poblaciones de base. El próximo comentario es de Kaiser. Por un corto tiempo trabajé para Space, para el distrito escolar. En el corto tiempo que estuve trabajando para el distrito vi el efecto negativo de la presencia policial en nuestras escuelas. Sigue cortando la comunicación.
With police watching their every move, they lost their freedom to fail, and therefore they lost their freedom to learn. Here are the facts.
Cuando tenemos agentes que están vigilando cada uno de nuestros pasos, perdemos la libertad de fallar y perdemos, por lo tanto, la libertad. Se sigue cortando la comunicación. Hagan lo indicado, lo correcto. ¿Esos son todos los comentarios de público? No. Nuestro próximo comentario del público es de Cristian. No sé. Soy un padre de 5 estudiantes. Mi estudiante mayor se graduó en el 2014 y el menor está cursando el 5º grado. La comunicación se sigue cortando. Y lo que estamos proponiendo es que se reinvierta en educación para propulsar la educación en nuestro país. Miembros de la... soy un asistente educativo en el centro profesional, en el ciclo primario. Una de mis principales preocupaciones es acerca de la población indígena y africano-americana y cómo afecta la presencia policial en esta comunidad. Se sigue cortando la comunicación. La policía reafirma diariamente que con las bombas lacrimógenas, los proyectiles de goma, que no están ahí para servir a nuestras comunidades indígenas y afroamericanas. Por favor, elijan a nuestros estudiantes. Nuestro próximo comentario público está. Me siento muy que nuestro distrito le pone mayor valor a la relación con la policía, con el departamento de policía en vez de con los recursos necesarios para la educación de nuestros estudiantes. Nuestro próximo es Johnson. Creo firmemente que el distrito debe reasignar los fondos que están yendo a la policía al desarrollo educativo de nuestro distrito. Siendo que se reasignen esos fondos en mayores espacios educativos y en personal especializado, imaginen cómo pueden mejorar nuestros niveles educativos. le pido al distrito escolar que haga lo que es correcto y financie los programas educativos. Nuestro próximo comentario del público es un empleado del distrito. He trabajado por los últimos 6 años. He sido maestro y mentor. He estado trabajando en el llamado para desmantelar el racismo sistémico. Y me he comprometido a trabajar en las áreas que mejor sirven a los estudiantes menos atendidos. La presencia policial no hace las escuelas más seguras. Lo que sucede en bases regulares es que los estudiantes son clasificados como dentro del perfil de color o de ciertas razas. Nuestro próximo comentario es de Sandra. Eso fue un correo electrónico. Al momento en el que George Floyd fue asesinado por un funcionario de policía del cuerpo de Minneapolis, nuestro país se dio cuenta que nuestros cuerpos policiales están dominados por fuerzas opresivas. Me gustaría solicitarle al distrito escolar y a la directiva que por favor refinancie los fondos de la policía en el distrito. Nuestro próximo comentario escolar es de Salem. Se sigue cortando mucho la comunicación. Por favor. Y mi mayor aprobación para el mes del orgullo, por la resolución del mes del orgullo. El próximo comentario público es de me dirijo a usted como padre de tres. De solicitarles que por favor los trabajadores sociales, los asesores educativos y en programas educativos que puedan asistir a los estudiantes en el desarrollo social. Estoy teniendo problemas de conexión, no logro escucharlo. Mi solicitud es para que las próximas inversiones sean en el desarrollo de la salud mental de los estudiantes y los programas de desarrollo. De igual manera, continúo comunicándome con mis estudiantes para determinar cuáles son sus necesidades. Se sigue cortando. Es intangible debido al corte de la conexión.
takes away from their experiences. Thank you. Our next public comment is from Alexander Korsunsky of Salem. I attended Howard Street and graduated from South in 2008.
Yo fui a la escuela de Howard.
Well. Anyways, now I'm a PhD candidate, a social scientist, and among the things I've researched is the power of organized students to stand up and demand that public education is for everyone, and point out that working class students and students of color can only communities succeed. This is why I am ready to
solamente tiene éxito con la comunidad.
I am writing to demand that, in light of recent events and the vast body of social, scientific, and education research on the school-to-prison pipeline, that the district's budget remove any and all funding for police and similar private security, and that this
Yo estoy escribiendo para que por todos que muevan a los oficiales de para que pongan más consejeros para los que necesitan y más técnicos que se puedan y también programas cambiamos el modelo de los estudiantes y los servicios de verdad no tienen lugar en las escuelas. Tenemos como una docena más de comentarios públicos. Es una estoy escribiendo para pedirles que promuevan a los oficiales de las escuelas. Creo que eso los hace un poquito más inseguros a los estudiantes de minoría.
I advocate for transferring funding currently used for police officers in schools towards school counselors, social workers, and nurses.
Sería bueno que estos fondos para consejeros, trabajadores sociales, para trabajar y hacer todo más seguro para nuestro siguiente comentario es de Keizer.
School policing sets children up for the school-to-prison pipeline. ACLU has this document discussing Oregon in particular. You can save children from the prison system and from fearing school by allocating funds to resources that will actually help them, such as
sería mejor que alocaran estos recursos para estudiantes para que los estudiantes se sintieran seguros en las escuelas. Dice, ellos trabajan mejor cuando alguien los cuida y no cuando se sienten con miedo. El siguiente comentario. También otra señora de Salem. Dice, yo quiero pedirle que termine el programa de los oficiales, que hagan lo mismo como las escuelas importantes. Repetidamente se ha hablado de este asunto de los policías. Y de poder usar esto para otros recursos, para poder retener estudiantes o para tener para psicólogos o trabajadores sociales, para que vayan buscando para carreras en la universidad y apoyos de los policías no proveen todos estos. Para muchos estudiantes la presencia de los oficiales se sienten como que ellos pertenecen a nuestra escuela.
school community and allows money to be spent in areas that uphold our district vision for equity more clearly. The next public comment is from
Siguiente comentario
Serene of Salem.
es de Salem.
Remove police presence in all
Necesitamos remover las presencias sociales.
parked outside,
Dice,
having their own parking space immediately makes the
ellos
school
tienen sus
less
propios
safe, not more.
estacionamientos ahí.
It's shown that police, rather than school counselors and
Entonces, ha
principals
demostrado
being
que
involved in student matters, results in more punitive actions.
dice que es
Scary for students,
más
and in
dañino
some
que
cases in
para
the
ellos.
country have resulted in officers violently attacking students for minor disruptions in class.
Dice, parece que los oficiales van a atacar a los estudiantes.
What might be going on at home, if a student is being bullied and acting out, etc.
Posiblemente podría ser que
Sending them on a path, thinking that they are a bad person needing to be punished. School is for learning, not
las escuelas son para aprender, no para tener miedo.
The next comment is from
El
Maria
siguiente
Janelle
comentario,
Young of Salem.
otra señora de Salem,
Parent of a student at
y
McKinney,
una
and
madre de
member of their PTC. I have
también soy
often been upset with the lack of diversity in our teachers and the
yo
program.
soy,
I
dice,
plan to help enhance the role I play in my, I believe she meant role. I plan to help enhance the role I play in my community and school district.
sí,
I would
yo
like
quiero
to
ser,
urge Salem-Keizer School District to end the SRO program with
me
Salem
gustaría
Keizer.
pedirle a Salem-Keizer que termine el programa de los oficiales
To support and enhance
y
the
usaran
lives
este
and
dinero
education of
para
people
más
of
para
color in our
educación
city.
en la
Follow the
comunidad.
lead of Portland and end this program.
Que sigan el
Has been
esfuerzo de
proving
plan
that
que para
although
que
some students feel safer with their presence, many are filled with trauma and fear. We can all agree
muchos,
that trauma is something that distracts students from learning.
sí, muchos estudiantes con
And feel safe within our schools. This
ellos
is
se pueden
the
sentir
most.
en las escuelas.
If
En
every
el-
child doesn't feel safe in our schools, then we
Si
as
no
a
se sienten
community are
seguros,
not doing our job to support
no
people
estamos
of
haciendo
color
nuestro
in
trabajo
neighborhoods. Thank
en
you
los,
for
en
your
los,
time.
en los estados.
The next public comment is from
Siguiente comentario,
Lorenzen of Salem.
también de Salem.
I want you to end the practice of police officers, school resource
Sí.
officers,
Yo quiero que
SROs
termine
in
el
schools
proceso
because according to academic research, it enables
y que
the
lo
school
pongan
board
también
to
en cosas
criminalization of minor conduct.
académicas.
Police and schools do not follow proper police conduct rules.
Dice, los policías
No evidence
no siguen
SROs
las
deter
reglas.
violence or school shootings, and SROs cannot act as good mentors when they are associated
En verdad ellos no
with
pueden ser
assumption
buenos
of
mentores
student
para las
discipline.
escuelas.
Students of color in Salem have also
Estudiantes de color
complained about biased treatment.
han
Researchers
estado,
recommend funding social
tienen
workers
quejas de
instead. Their presence is correlated with much better student outcomes.
sí.
The next public comment is from
El
Sarah
siguiente
Crawford of
comentario,
Salem.
también de
I'm
Salem.
writing today urging you to
Estoy
send funds
escribiendo
to the Salem
pidiéndole
Police Department and reinvest that money into new mental
que,
health services
que
and additional
inventen
counselors to serve our student body.
ese dinero para los
Well-being
estudiantes
of our
y para
minority students, our
para los
Black and Latinx
estudiantes minorías,
population
para
in
todos.
particular, is far, far more important than the
Es
alleged
mucho
protection
más
of
importante
armed police on school
de
grounds.
tener un policía armado en la
We can't
escuela.
allow the Salem-Keizer School District
Podemos
to
darle,
be active participants in the school-to-prison pipeline. The students in our community deserve a safe, free education. They don't deserve to turn into another statistic. We must remove the Salem Police Department from our schools.
debemos remover a los oficiales federales y de las
Public comment is from Jessica Jones of Keizer.
otro comentario
Tensions rise between police and the public because of police brutality and racism. I feel like
las
it is crucial to
tuvieron
get the officers out of our schools.
más sociales
Black and brown students potentially being a target for these officers is absolutely not okay.
los estudiantes negros son
We need it to not exist in our schools where black and brown students are falling victim to it. Please,
sí,
put
queremos que no,
police
no
officers
caigan
in our
víctimas de los oficiales en las escuelas.
Our next public comment is from Anna Lynn Scheller-Monk.
Otras,
Salem Police Department
recientemente
for siding with white supremacist groups over other
porque
governments in our
dice,
community.
aparentemente estaba hablando del Supremo. Dice, no queremos tener a los policías aquí en las escuelas. Por favor, reconsideren. No necesitamos tener- Gracias. Emmanuel Macías de Salem. Aquí también que todo el dinero que se realice para más.
In light of recent events that have taken place between the city of Salem and its residents, i.e. videos of police officers cavorting with known white supremacy groups, etc., I would like to urge you to consider ending your contract with Salem Police Department
Yo quisiera pedir que el contrato para que encontraran
send a very clear message to the students of color in our district that we stand with them.
Sí, debemos mandarles un mensaje muy claro que a todos los estudiantes de color estamos con ellos. Si las escuelas están más con eso del COVID-19, es algo que está considerando el distrito, reducir a los oficiales. La señora María de Salem. De que este dinero de los oficiales para poder más con la equidad de las escuelas. Siguiente comentario. También de Salem. Soy un estudiante de Salem. No tengo niños en el distrito. Y yo estoy escribiendo para pedirles que los oficiales tomen presión para los estudiantes. Si queremos que los estudiantes seguros, deberíamos decir el ratio de tejidos, promover actividades más e inspirar Dice, las escuelas han hecho mucho apoyo ahora durante el COVID-19. Debemos estar otra vez valientemente para seguir con esto que quiere promover. Otra vez de Salem. Dice que se quite el fondo de los oficiales y que trabajan para asegurar dice los profesores no hacen nada para decir que los estudiantes dice cuando los sacan a las escuelas quieren que sean seguros para que tengan más el apoyo. Los fondos estamos quitando programas que se necesitan un poquito, se necesitan más. Gracias. Nuestro Cristina de Salem. Y una pagadora de taxis de Salem. Trabaja en la y he investido. Sí, yo estoy escribiendo para pedir que remuevan a los oficiales. A los oficiales dice, los oficiales son algo distinto. Se necesita más apoyo. y queremos que nuestros estudiantes estén más a gusto. Hay que aprobar más consejeros y cosas que los puedan en más escuelas y que
offering learning tools and meals for students who need them. Let's be equally brave in the face of this other equally pressing issue of over-policing.
Sí, como pasó con lo del COVID, hubo la y los desayunos. Hay que ser valientes para poder hacer esto.
Broccoli, I apologize on the name, of Salem. As the mother of a young child who will attend Salem-Keizer schools, I write to urge Salem-Keizer Public Schools to remove police officers from all
Dice, como la madre de un niño que va, quisiera que removieran también a los oficiales de las escuelas. Dice, también creo que no están seguros, especialmente para los afroamericanos.
And as a result, are less likely to excel academically and less likely to graduate. I advocate for transferring the funding currently used for police officers in schools towards school counselors, social workers, and nurses.
Yo estoy abogando que todos los ese dinero se use para más consejeros, más maestros, más apoyo para los estudiantes.
We have a comment from
Tenemos un comentario de
Vicky Falcon Vasquez. My name is Vicky Falcon Vasquez. I am part of Mano a Mano Family Center.
Soy parte del centro de Mano a Mano de Estados Unidos.
An old member. I am a mother of a 16-year-old student at
Soy la mamá de un estudiante de 16 años de yo misma me gradué de la escuela de sexo como una estudiante de color.
I have spoken in the past to the board about my experience and how funds and resources have not been used specifically for bilingual English language learners and students of color. As you can see, not much has changed since then. I am saddened because during middle school,
Yo estoy triste de que no ha
my
cambiado
son had
mucho.
to listen to comments such as build a wall and go back to your country.
Dice mi hijo en las escuelas dice tiene comentarios muy duros como hagan la pared. Sí, y él sufre y tiene intensidad. Aunque su consejero y su
Navigate with this struggle all on my own. He is finally
yo
in a
tuve que
better
hacer
state,
sola.
yet school had become a difficult environment to the point that
La
he didn't
escuela
want
se
to
hizo
attend anymore.
una situación
My son
difícil.
is intelligent and extremely
Mi hijo es
talented.
inteligente y
It broke my heart to know that school
se
had
me
these
rompió el
challenges
corazón
to
saber
include
que
and support my son in meaningful and intentional ways. I fully support Luce's demands in allocating these funds to teachers,
yo estoy en apoyo
psychologists, and community organizations.
y estos fondos deberían de pedirse para psicólogos y consejeros
The final
más
comment that I have is from
y el comentario final
Doyle Hugmeyer of Salem.
de una de Salem.
And it appears Andrea's comment is related to our Pride Month proclamation. So with that last public comment that I shared, that concludes all of the comments that have been submitted for the budget hearing.
Dice, parece que ya son todos los comentarios.
Yes, we do have one more video.
Ahora tienen otro video.
Good evening, Chair Hyan, Superintendent Perry, and board members. My name is Ross Schwarzenegger, and I'm a parent
Es un padre
in the Salem-Keizer School
de
District.
tres niños de las
Talk
escuelas
about
de Salem-Keizer.
key performance indicators. Earlier this year, I submitted testimony concerning the fake scores given to my students, to my children, two of them, and I have yet to receive any word back from the district on why those errant assessment scores were given to my children and if they are included in any of the other scores and what the algorithm is that produced those results. Now that 100% of the students in Salem-Keizer have opted out.
Ahora que el 100% de los estudiantes en la escuela de Salem-Keizer optaron de no participar en la evaluación,
And
Podemos esperar a las puntuaciones ser discernidas de la misma manera. Entonces, ¿por qué estamos pagando por estas evaluaciones? No se puede hacer en nuestra comunidad, son inútiles. Todavía estamos pagando por eso. Y quería hablar más acerca del presupuesto. Bueno, eso es todo lo que estaba en ese video. No hay más a este video. Voy a averiguar, pero no vi nada más. Ahora que terminamos con el testimonio del público del presupuesto de 2020 y 2021, tenemos comentarios de miembros del comité. Todavía estoy procesando mis pensamientos. Quizás tengo algo que decir más adelante. ¿Quién más quería decir algo en cuanto al comité de presupuesto? ¿O Jacqueline? ¿Algún comentario? Por el momento no. Bueno, gracias. Creo que sería el último, entonces ¿tiene algo que comentar antes de terminar la parte del presupuesto? Lo siento. Me está preguntando si quiero comentar ahora, porque estamos terminando esta parte. Sí. Entonces yo... Lo siento, en verdad, tengo muchas emociones en ese momento. Pues yo sé que hay personas en este país que opinan que es simplemente por lo que está pasando en este momento, pero en verdad tiene que ver con toda la historia de este país y aún anterior. Para mí, he estado en este país, en Salem, durante casi 30 años ya. Y yo tengo esta cantidad de tiempo, de historias en que pudiera compartir, al igual que estaba compartido. Es un asunto en que me siento como un asunto personal. Agradezco los comentarios de la superintendente Perry. Lo que diría yo, quisiera alentar a la mesa directiva a participar en esta conversación. Se escuchan muchos comentarios del público. Si no están listos, honestamente, a participar en esta conversación, dejan saber la comunidad, porque si no se toma esta decisión esta noche, con los comentarios que han escuchado, la comunidad tiene que escuchar que la mesa directiva va a comentar más adelante. No será como alargado durante varias semanas más. Y sin eso, yo creo que sí, va a crear más, diría yo. Creo que es todo lo que tenía que decir. Gracias, Levi. Definitivamente tienes razón. Hay mucho que procesar y gracias por poder hablar. Y para tratar eso, y para los miembros de la comunidad que vinieron específicamente para esto, el plan era llevar a cabo más conversaciones. Y para nuestra comunidad, ¿es correcto, Christy? Lo siento. Sí, es correcto. Correcto. Sí. Debe ser de manera urgente. Tenemos fecha como un límite de tiempo para tener algo. Yo pensaba que yo pudiera preparar un plan entre algunos días y formularlo entre la próxima semana. Y yo creo que se corta la transmisión. Pero si ustedes hacen el voto esta noche y tomen acción esta noche, todavía vamos a tener que participar en... Yo sé, este no es lo que me estaba pidiendo. Sí. Se corta la transmisión. Es mucho que procesar. Es totalmente de acuerdo. Y yo quiero preguntar, porque ahora estamos hablando de la audiencia de presupuesto. No estamos votando en esto. Es correcto. La mejor cosa que hacer en ese momento es terminar la sesión de la audiencia del presupuesto y seguir adelante. Y como mesa directiva pueden realizar esta conversación durante el proceso. Al escuchar todo el comentario del público y del comité del presupuesto, ahora voy a levantar la sesión. Entonces, la audiencia del comité del presupuesto de 2020-21 se termina y voy a decir que vamos a por la cantidad de tiempo, porque vivimos en un república democrático, queríamos escuchar las voces de todos. Entonces vamos a adelantar el asunto de para la siguiente reunión, como respeto de el tiempo de todo, y escuchar el testimonio del mes del orgullo, y luego vamos a tomar un descanso hasta 8:15. Gracias. Muchas gracias. Nuestra primera parte de comentario del público. Se corta la transición. Mi nombre es Andrea. Estoy escribiendo como miembro, defensora y mamá, pidiéndoles a que aprueben la proclamación como el mes de junio, como mes de orgullo. Guadalajara, lo siento. En la Universidad de Guadalajara, muchas veces trabajo cercano con los estudiantes LGBTQ, en el cual se sintieron apoyados, y los estudiantes que han recibido más discriminación y menos fundación de sus identidades. Y durante los varios años he agradecido que el Distrito Escolar de Salem-Keizer han priorizado los estudiantes, en los cuales los administradores y los maestros trabajan para apoyar a los niños. Y como mamá, es importante que los niños sepan que son queridos. Y por asegurar esta proclamación, han indicado que el amor, o sin el amor, para que identificar que los niños son amados es de la más importancia. Por favor, tomen la oportunidad para confirmar su compromiso. Se corta la transición. Nuestro próximo comentario del público es de Hillary Arthur. Apoyamos completamente, esperamos que el Distrito Escolar de Salem-Keizer reconozca el mes nacional del orgullo por parte de los estudiantes y personal, estudiantes, familia y miembros de la comunidad LGBTQ. Es una oportunidad para el Distrito Escolar demostrar la importancia de la inclusión para todos los estudiantes. Y esto va a concluir la parte del comentario del público. Vamos a tomar un descanso de 5 minutos. Vamos a regresar a las 8:15. Nos vemos un rato. No sé qué tipo de declaración oficial que debo tomar. María está reunida con el resto de nosotros desde Idaho. Me alegro. Me alegro que está con nosotros. Gracias por venir. Bueno, vamos a comenzar desde el comentario del público de los artículos generales de la Junta en cuanto al presupuesto. Y ahora vamos a hablar de las acciones. El primero es aprobar la proclamación para el mes de orgullo de LGBTQ. Lo que dijo la superintendente Perry es muy relevante al día de hoy. LGBTQ y el movimiento de los derechos civiles del Black Lives Matter es muy relevante al día de hoy. Y quiero pedir a Ron si lo pudiera leer. Gracias. Quería asegurar que me escucha. ¿Me escucha? Sí, gracias. Estoy honrado a leer eso. Proclamación del mes de orgullo LGBTQ es lo siguiente. En cuanto a las escuelas públicas de Salem-Keizer, comparte de las características como orientación sexual e identidad. En cuanto al personal, y también quienes se identifiquen como lesbiana, gay, bisexual, transgénero, deben ser libres de la intimidación, hostigamiento, molesto o discriminación. Cada año del mes de junio honra la violencia en Manhattan de 1969 y la lucha en cuanto a los derechos básicos, civiles básicos. La Asociación de Educación Nacional ha incluido el mes de orgullo desde 1995 y por lo tanto creo que como Jason Collins, el primer jugador de deportes es importante que haya más conocimiento en cuanto a la historia de LGBTQ y también honrar muchos líderes de América, americanos, que han contribuido al progreso de nuestro país. Y la juventud de LGBTQ son como casi 5 veces más probables de intentar suicidio comparado con la juventud que se identifica como que no sea LGBTQ. Y cada episodio de victimización de personas quienes se identifican como LGBTQ, como hostigamiento físico, verbal o abuso, aumenta la probabilidad de dañarse a sí mismo y de un estudio nacional encontró el 40% de adultos transgéneros reportaron a intentar suicidio con 92%. Los estudiantes, la ley federal garantiza el derecho de los estudiantes de formar alianzas o clubes como gay, straight, y que existen como clubes que no sean partes del plan de estudios. Y la inclusión es un valor básico de nuestro distrito y la mesa directiva y tiene la responsabilidad de oponer discriminación hacia personas de LGBTQ en Oregon y los Estados Unidos para ayudarles y la mesa directiva está comprometida en ayudar a terminar la crisis de suicidio en nuestra comunidad. Por lo tanto, la mesa directiva del Distrito Escolar de Salem-Keizer y los directores proclaman el mes de junio de 2020 ser mes de orgullo de LGBTQ y exhorta a la comunidad a unirse con nosotros.
Ok, entonces tenemos una moción del director Blasi y secundada por el doctor. Directora.
I really want to say I'm so honored, such a blessing that I get.
Solo quería decir que estoy muy honrado, que es una bendición ser parte de la mesa directiva escolar y que estamos en la posibilidad de apoyar este movimiento.
It was Dr. John Fryer, a board certified psychiatrist, a gay man who welcomed us into his home. We stayed there for 3 months. I went to Temple University. He was like my father figure and mentor for me.
Estuve en una relación cercana con el doctor Fryer, quien fue un mentor y un director para mí, y quien formaba parte de esta comunidad. Y quien inculcó estos principios de aceptación de comunidad en mi país. Y una de las cosas que más admiraba de él es la forma en la que él solía ser bien acogedor hacia cualquier tipo de diversidad de personas y de ideologías. Y yo pude adoptar eso de él. Director Blasi. Director Blasi. Gracias. Estos son momentos emocionales para todos nosotros. Y asumo que, y por supuesto que agradezco todo. Se está cortando la transmisión.
Been and continue to be supportive of the learning of all of our students. And I just ask that if our students, as was expressed earlier this evening, if our LGBTQ students feel as though they're not getting the support they need within their schools, that they please let us know. But I appreciate a school board and an administration that allows us to publicly proclaim our support. So thank you.
Director Pedro. No tengo nada. Gracias, director. ¿Tiene algún comentario? Director Gass, ¿está ahí? Estoy aquí. Se sigue cortando la transmisión. Creo que eso es un no. Gracias, director Gass. Director Gass. ¿Tiene algún comentario? Creo firmemente que cada estudiante tiene el derecho de asistir a la escuela sin ser acosado, sin ser modificado ningún tipo de bienestar o de estilo de vida. No puedo determinar las palabras adecuadas, pero mucho de lo que quiero decir está relacionado con los estudiantes no siendo víctimas del acoso o la persecución. ¿Usted tiene algún tipo de comentario? Okay. Para mí creo que es increíble lo lejos que hemos llegado.
Lost a House of Representatives race, I believe here in Oregon, but I believe in Keizer, if I'm not mistaken, because my grandfather came out as gay, and I think it's pretty cool that we come from. Well, I mean, it sucks that we had to go through that, but you know, it's pretty cool that we come from someone losing an elected official race simply because of that to now we get to read this in a public setting to build up our LGBTQ community. I think it's pretty powerful.
Pienso que es muy poderoso que podamos reforzar la comunidad LGBTQ.
All of those in favor signify by saying aye.
Todos los que están a favor, por favor, digan aye. Aye.
Aye. Perfect. And those opposed, same sign.
Y los que se ponen digan.
Vote to accept and approve the LGBTQ Pride Month proclamation. Oh, and I also vote. Yes.
Se está cortando la comunicación.
So that is done, and now next we have we're moving on to action item B, which is adopt resolution number 201920-8, the adoption and appropriation of the 2020-21 budget.
Así que
Resolution to close external customers.
Continuaremos con con el próximo punto, lo cual es adoptar la resolución número 2019-20-8, que es la aceptación y apropiación del presupuesto 2020-2021, incluyendo la resolución de los clientes cercanos externos, por la famosa resolución para imponer las categorías de impuestos correspondientes para el año fiscal 2020-2021.
Rigorous community conversations by the 23rd, but I could promise you that we could get them started and that you could also have another round of testimony.
Pero puedo prometerles que para este momento podemos comenzar con la propuesta.
My recommendation, which I mean it's totally up to you, but I'm just going to tell you what my recommendation is at this point.
Está todo de tu parte, pero mi recomendación es que con la cantidad de testimonios que tenemos,
regardless of whether you delay it or not, I will commit that I will have the conversation and that we will
para retrasar un poco el movimiento de la moción número 23 y exactamente de lo que se decida en el día de hoy. Yo voy a establecer los canales de comunicación pertinentes con la comunidad basados en lo que se planteó en comentarios durante el día de hoy. Todo dirigido a mantener una constante comunicación con la comunidad. Se está cortando un poco. Solicité a Sara que hiciera una investigación durante el periodo de descanso que fue otorgado. Y quiero definitivamente honrar a la participación de la comunidad que participó en la de la noche de hoy. Y definitivamente voy a dejar de dicho. Y definitivamente nosotros tendremos una votación para o bien aprobar el presupuesto o la propuesta. Yo propongo particularmente que posterguemos la propuesta del punto de acción 5B a la próxima reunión del
So not voting, so the recommendation would be to not vote on the budget this evening, but to move.
Entonces la recomendación sería no votar en la acerca del presupuesto de hoy, pero dilatarlo para la próxima reunión del presupuesto. Está cortando mucho, no puedo. Entonces, quiero clarificar que la propuesta de la doctora Blasi es de posponer la votación por presupuesto. Entonces, ¿es una recomendación o es una moción? Es mi recomendación. Reprogramar el artículo 5B.
June 23rd is our next meeting.
June 23rd.
El 3 de junio. Pero debe ponerlo como una acción. Sí.
Perfect. The motion to move the action item 5B, which is the adopt resolution number 201920.
La moción para reprogramar el artículo 5B acerca del presupuesto de
2020 and 2021 to our next scheduled board meeting, which is June 23rd. Motion made by seconded by Director Goss. Do we have any board comment?
This is a debatable motion, by the way.
Esta es una moción debatida.
Director Chandigiri?
Tengo un comentario. Director.
My comment is, this is a very emotional topic. We heard so
Este es un tópico muy emocional.
Experiences shared by a lot of people, and Levy rightly summarized it. And
y me gustaría participar para poder
you know, this is a budget we are approving it. We all know that it is not going to be exactly like what we are approving. The second thing is
que si este es un presupuesto que nosotros hemos planificado para ser aprobado para esta fecha, no puede ser necesariamente el mismo que nosotros habíamos planificado para la aprobación. La comunicación se sigue cortando.
So I really wanted to understand what exactly, are we just going to give our community 2 weeks more of sharing their emotions? I'm not saying that my head will be clear, let alone the children who have been experiencing this day in and day out. This has to be a little bit longer conversation, and we have to give the community a chance to speak. Those who did not speak also are scared. They're going to have all kinds of reaction. There are people who are going to be vocal. There are people who are going to be hiding in their home. The people who are scared to even voice what they're thinking. So my thought is, we need to have very good clarity by waiting 2 weeks. What is that we are going to accomplish? And
entonces mi punto es que debemos tener bien claro qué es lo que queremos alcanzar o lograr con esta reprogramación de la votación.
They did not have a mechanism to speak today. So I just want to be very thoughtful about that. This is like a community
cortando la comunicación.
It's not going to settle down in 2 weeks, in my opinion. I just want to hear from the superintendent what exactly you're going to accomplish in 2 weeks. How is it going to bring down the emotions of the community? And how are you going to listen to them who are silent today? Silent doesn't mean they don't have an opinion. Silent also, in my opinion, doesn't mean they have not been traumatized by this.
Yeah. Okay. No, thank you so much for your comments, Director Chandigiri. Director Tyler, do you have any comments? No? Okay. Director Blasi?
Se sigue cortando la comunicación.
Well, I think Satya wanted to hear from the superintendent, but my response to his question is I don't know that we have to make a decision about the contracts, the SRO contracts within 2 weeks, but we will need to make a decision about the budget.
Estoy seguro que el director Causa quiere escuchar de parte de la superintendente en este momento. Pero lo que quiero decir es que quizás entonces es posible renovarlos o refinanciarlos. Se sigue cortando la comunicación. Y pienso que debido a las circunstancias generales y todo lo que está sucediendo, esto es una respuesta respetuosa a la intervención y a la participación de la comunidad, en por lo menos reprogramar la votación a Así que una posición muy respetuosa, sin tomar una posición, sin tomar una posición parcializada. Sí, yo solo quiero hacer eco de la opinión de la directora Blas. Y pienso que es importante que hagamos una pausa, aunque sea por un corto periodo de tiempo. Y creemos un poco de urgencia alrededor o acerca del trabajo que necesitamos realizar. Estoy segura que esto no va a ser un periodo de tiempo en el cual vamos a estar en silencio, y estoy segura que es un momento en el que vamos a dedicar para establecer canales de comunicación para poder ver o para poder regresar con una idea más clara acerca de cuáles van a ser nuestros próximos pasos, establecer con mayor certeza. Me gustaría hacer un comentario si es posible. Por proseguir. Lo que yo pienso es que necesitamos un poco de tiempo. Nuestras emociones están un poco exaltadas en este momento, y en este momento necesitamos recurrir a nuestros grupos de apoyo. Se comenzó a cortar otra vez. Definitivamente necesitamos darle una vista más detallada a los contratos que tenemos propuestos en nuestro presupuesto y tomar una decisión un poco más de detenimiento en el próximo tiempo. Una de las cosas que vi que se estaba mencionando en los comentarios es que SROs en las escuelas tenía que ver con las deportaciones, lo cual es cierto. Y esto se comenzó a cortar otra vez.
Los oficiales tienen relaciones con los estudiantes. Yo creo que a los oficiales y las comunidades juntas tienen una conversación para entender, para que si es posible los oficiales dice, pero vamos a la decisión. No tiene mucho que ver con el presupuesto. Bueno, ese es mi comentario.
Thank you so much, Chairwoman Hyan. Director Bethel, do you have any comments?
I do. I think that what Levy said earlier about the emotion is pretty realistic for everybody that's existing.
Lo que dijo Leslie de las emociones,
and I think that
yo pienso que
while earlier when we were listening to that,
cuando más empezamos, los decimos
3 pages of email notes,
3 páginas de los electrónicos.
emails to either myself directly or to all of us as a board.
Dice, no se
out of our schools. Director Hyan spoke about the stories of how SROs build relationships and save lives.
Dice, también lo como los oficiales.
People who make mistakes, and we
Dice, hay
need to
gente
be having those community conversations and building relationships. We need to have proactive leadership in our district and in our law enforcement to make sure that we're bridging those gaps. There has to be an understanding on both sides. I will support the vote to postpone to
Dice, pero hoy para
I expect in the next 2 weeks to be involved in every aspect of the conversations to understand what our community is asking for and it not just get laid on me in one night. $1 million isn't that much money when we talk about trying to make an impact in the number of schools that we have. SROs are barely getting enough across the board as it is to try to build those relationships to prevent students from getting into trouble. So
dice,
it's a very, very big emotional conversation for every parent.
Esa es una conversación muy emocional.
Today that interact with SROs regularly. So, this is a big task.
Ese es un trabajo grande
to take in 2 weeks. So,
para verlo en 2 semanas. Por favor, apóyense en la mesa directiva para gracias por su comentario.
A lot of guests bring up great points. The SROs are clearly there for a reason, to keep kids safe.
Sí, los oficiales están ahí para claramente para que tengan todos a salvo.
Why you feeling what you're feeling, and is there a way for us to do it without the SROs? How would we be able to do that?
La pregunta sería que si lo podríamos hacer sin los oficiales.
That would be my big concern. How do we make sure?
Esa sería mi preocupación.
So we have a motion.
Tenemos una moción. Sí, yo tengo la petición también nos petición.
So there were a number of other comments and things.
Había otros comentarios.
The SROs was one little bit, and so I
think
that's also
un poquito lo de los SROs.
Also, I'll read carefully through the petition we got, the testimony that you heard. Just as I'm processing it through, I think support told some of the things about the demands in that petition, so I've got to go back and listen and read at the same time, and I think that's really an important first step, is to read over the petition carefully.
Sería un buen paso volver a regresar
SROs is one piece, schools pipeline, and some really serious issues around safety and well-being of our Black and brown kids in our schools.
Muchos hechos de la seguridad.
Thank you, Superintendent Perry.
Muchas gracias, Superintendente.
But yeah, so we have a motion by Director Blasey.
Tenemos la moción. Y tenemos el.
We did, and so all of those in favor signify by saying aye.
¿Que todos en favor?
Aye. And then those opposed, same sign.
Los que estuvieron puestos.
Perfect. So the motion to move the budget vote item to June 23rd is passed.
Vamos a moverlos para la junta del 23.
So now we move on to the consent calendar.
So vamos a movernos para el
pull anything from the consent calendar.
I wish to move that we accept the consent calendar as presented.
Perfect. Thank you, Director Kylo. Do we have a second?
I second.
Gary, thank you so much for the second. Do we have any board member comment or discussion?
Que si hay alguna comentario.
We have a motion by Director Kylo, a second by Director Chandigiri to approve the consent calendar. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Ahora también todos están todos están ¿Los que estuvieran de desacuerdo?
So we have unanimous vote on that to approve the consent calendar. Now we move to readings where we have none. Now to reports. We moved items B and C to our June 23rd meeting. So now we just have A on our reports. And I'm going to hand this over to Superintendent Perry.
Vamos a todos los otros dos van a ser para el 23 y ahora va para el presidente.
I think we're moving A and B to the 23rd and C. Legally required policies is what I'm going to do now. So I'm on.
Creo que la A y la B se mueven para el 23 y quiero que hablar la.
The reason to move the other, the KPIs and the academic EL, we're also going to bring forward on the 23rd some of the feedback we've gained from
Vamos a hablar de todo lo que
surveying of parents
y también vamos a tener
focus group with parents and families related to distance learning and our panorama data that we collect.
Vamos a hablar de también
well together.
Todos
now we've added the budget.
Me hablar de la ¿cómo se llama? Señora Vicencia. Vamos a ver.
This is executive limitation number 12, which is the 12th of the 12 monitoring reports. And this particular executive limitation shows for you all the board legally required policies and if we've made
Todas las pólizas
over the years. So the legally required policies are listed there and
las pólizas requeridas legalmente están ahí.
I've listed the policies that we have made changes to. And then we need to get this policy updated because it doesn't give you, I don't think, some of the relevant information along the way.
Hay unos que tenemos que cambiar y poner más
So I'm going to recommend that we push, this is one of the first things that we do in our summer planning to figure out how do you really want to get information and notice around some of the more major policies.
¿Cómo pueden recibir
we do so much of that internally and just the legally required policies aren't
y es un requerimiento
of all the other policies that are meaningful. So
you
definitely want to take on every policy.
No queremos tomar todas las pólizas.
Hours and hours, and you want us to do a lot of that.
There's some
key ones that I think
algunas claves.
Even though I think that we'd like to keep them within administrative approval process.
Debemos dejarlo con el
just as a couple other little bits, the entrance age policy we've changed based on a legal update. There were a number of legal updates to child abuse and sexual conduct.
Based on
legislative changes. There was also attendance requirement changes because there were for how you track kids when they don't attend. One is mental health. 7 days of travel for students of military officials.
Los niños que están
policy based on the new legislative changes around restraint and seclusion, and then you've been updated on that we've adopted our suicide prevention policy. So with that, we're still in the process of updating our communicable disease emergency operation plans and discipline procedures.
están adoptando y
Again, I'm recommending that we take this particular policy into
de contagios.
July board planning to really have a conversation around what's the most important.
Como
if it's acceptable to you, a little bit of here's what boards in other districts approve and why some things are legally required and what I would recommend as a
Sí, vamos a ver qué están haciendo.
that'll open it up to questions.
Vamos a abrir para preguntas.
Now with questions, we're going to do the same process. So I'm just going to call.
Vamos a hacer el mismo proceso también.
Director Chandigiri, do you have any questions?
Sí, que le va a preguntar a los diferentes directores. ¿Tiene?
Superintendent Perry, thank you. So,
Gracias.
I want to ask a question to clarify. So these are the policies which will tie in with our monitoring data that you'll be presenting periodically during the
Son los procesos. Eso es lo que quiere decir con las políticas legalmente. ¿Qué dice? Dice, hay varias leyes de que se va a pasar que el tenemos parte de los monitoreos del
equal opportunity policy, for example, is one that's legally required. The law says the school board will adopt a policy.
La ley dice que
in policy governance, you've given all of that authority over to me, and then I report to you about the legally required policies.
Tiene que hablar con ella primero y ella estaría. Yo no estoy muy claro.
Does it just mean that we should have a policy, or how do we know that that is being implemented, and what mechanism we have that the community knows? For example, discipline.
Quiero saber cómo trabaja la.
Does that mean periodically community will know how are we tracking whether that is being done?
De que todos están informados cómo trabajarán las cosas.
Once it is delegated, how does the board know or the community?
Dice cómo se entera la mesa directiva cómo trabaja. Para todas las limitaciones más que nada eso nos está que por
you as the superintendent will put the policies that are needed into place based on the law.
Más que nada ver que políticas están aquí y que se
a policy is not being followed is we report that to you in the executive limitation. If it rises to a level, I mean, there's mistakes all the time.
reporta que una póliza no
Significant policy breach of any sort, then we report that to you in my monthly executive limitation reports.
Si hubiera una póliza que no se sigue, entonces ya se reportaría en la mesa directiva. Dice una clarificación. Cuando la mesa directiva dice lo de las se pasa tenemos un libro de como 4 y todas las policies. Dice lo que tenemos aquí dice tenemos la mesa directiva tiene que adoptar. Para enseñar que sí hay pólizas y enseñar. Cuando las dices tenemos que tener eso también y las limitaciones tiene son políticas administrativas.
Thank you, Paul. I appreciate that. Does that answer your question, Director Candigary?
No, it didn't. So these
Dice que si le aclaró la pregunta que dice estas pólizas dice esas son las pólizas de la mesa directiva. Si por ejemplo
expulsion is higher in, say, a children of color, then ultimately the board is responsible.
These are legally required.
Yeah, so I'm really wondering if the board is responsible to directly be responsible how this is being monitored and how it is being reported and what changes.
Como la póliza conoce, dice que si siguen la póliza de
I see what you mean, Director Candigary. So yeah, basically what they're saying is it's kind of like it's like with a company. Christie's the CEO. And so
es como una compañía y Christie es la jefa ejecutiva. Si el público nos podría dejarnos hacernos responsables. Esto es legalmente
as Director Blasek said, it's legally required for us to. So, all right. So, Director Bethel, do you have any questions?
¿Preguntas?
Yes, I do.
Díselo.
I'm actually really glad we're talking about this because it was one of the executive limitations that I brought up last year when I first became a school board member. And as a parent, I fail to see how I can gain access to these policies at a readily
Como padre,
available
como madre,
access point
de
to
cómo
understand them. And as a board member,
como miembro de
not provided to me, so I haven't been able to read through all of these. I
yo
was
no,
given a
no,
link,
yo no los he leído, no.
right now by Paul DeCopolis. There's a 4-inch binder's worth of policies on that website. I just wonder.
Dice, no más quiero saber.
Something similar, I suppose, to Satya is, yes, these are legally required. I understand.
Estas son
I don't feel that we're looped in as a board or a community on these policies on a regular basis, except for when it comes that time of year that this EL pops on the agenda and it's kind of the status quo.
Sí.
That makes me uncomfortable. It makes me feel like I'm out of the loop. Not because I don't trust the superintendent or our administration, because I think communication and transparency is key to
Yo pensé que la comunicación
relationships.
sería mucho mejor.
So when it says down there, I think it's in
Cuando
number
dice
2, that the superintendent shall not fail to provide the school board with information regarding any substantive changes. What's the definition of that?
dice, por ejemplo, dice una póliza que la superintendente no sabe de cierta póliza. ¿De qué lo que quieres decir?
What that definition is, or is it up to the administration?
Quisiera saber cuál es la definición de eso.
I would say it's up to us to communicate that to you and
Sería de parte de nosotros comunicarte eso que quisiera saber de la póliza.
this is a bigger conversation that you just need to tell me what you want.
Pienso que es una conversación más
Honestly, I don't have it in me for this.
Dice, ahorita no tengo la respuesta, dice.
Like this level right now, so
A este nivel no.
My recommendation is that we
talk
about it in our July
en
meeting.
la junta de julio.
Actually serve at your pleasure, and we'll do what you want me to do. So you just decide, and I'll do it.
Tú decides si yo lo haré.
It's on us to give you policy updates.
Nosotros
we try to do that in a variety of ways. I don't know if it totally meets your expectation or not.
Puede que no,
And if it doesn't, we'll do it differently. We've sometimes in the past also given hard copies of all the policy work.
Dice, también hemos dado copias de
snapshot of all the policy changes.
y de con eso pienso que tenemos este cuaderno de las pólizas
muchos de ellos, como el abuso de los niños, el trabajo con las normas, es mandado por la ley. Entonces, todo el libro tiene un enlace legal de las normas. También tuvimos hostigamiento, también sexual, cuando hay cambios en la legislatura. Hacen cambios. Entonces la mayoría de estos vienen de esta manera. Hay que decirme en qué formato. No quiero parecer como no me importa. No es así. Creo que me contestó la pregunta. Me está diciendo básicamente la mayoría de los cambios son de la legislatura. Entonces supongo, al sentirme así, o quizás no, estas normas en particular son importantes porque se nos trae la atención. Entonces me gustaría verlos pasado en el distrito como en el sentido del distrito en vez de una ley, lo que no está haciendo todavía. No quiero que sepa eso porque lo está haciendo muy bien. Y si no lo entiendo, creo que estoy intentando representar a la mayoría de los padres y creo que sería como, ¿cuál sería lo más importante? Porque la mayoría de las normas se corta la transmisión. Tomaría tiempo para examinar todos y los requisitos, porque de otra manera se siente inundado, porque algunas de las normas se aplican a los padres y a otras se aplican a los empleados. Antes tuvimos todos en nuestro sitio web, pero el problema es que hay tantos que la gente no podía, se corta la transición. Entonces, a lo mejor vamos a tener que considerarlo de las normas claves en que debemos asegurar que estén en el sitio web. Y es importante trabajo para ustedes como mesa directiva. Es decir, esas son las cosas importantes, especialmente como mesa directiva. Tuvo un ciclo completo de un año. A mí me gustaría decir, me acuerdo del año pasado, del anterior, la superintendente Perry se nos pidió, dijo, vamos a hacer este objetivo, quisiera que continuamos así, es útil. Y típicamente, de lo que yo escuché, se corta la transmisión. Quizás sería útil, como durante nuestras sesiones de trabajo en julio, en que podemos platicar. Porque si hay otra manera, entonces es para nosotros. Y si quisiera hacerla de otra manera, y la directora Blasi ha alzado la mano. Estoy bien, gracias. Director Kylo, ¿tiene alguna pregunta? No. Y la directora Causa, nada más un recordatorio. Lo que estamos considerando es la limitación ejecutiva y se escribe para que nosotros demos una evaluación a Christy. Y si lea más arriba, que ya estará al tanto de nuevas normas. Entonces la pregunta en cuanto a limitaciones ejecutivas es, ella nos informó acerca de las nuevas legales que hemos recibido del Estado. ¿Sería el Estado, Christy, o federal? Son federales. Las que hemos determinado, quizás le ayuda para entender un poquito mejor. Desde mi entendimiento, directora, los comentarios de la directora Beth, no quiero hablar por ellas. Yo podría decir por mí mismo qué es exactamente cómo lo vamos a formular. Y definitivamente debemos hacer este asunto en julio. Superintendente Perry, ¿tiene algo más que decir en cuanto a las limitaciones? No, perfecto. ¿Seguimos adelante o creo que siguen adelante? Entonces, lo que sigue, vamos a escuchar del director Chan Draghi. Para dar mucho respeto a la comunidad, hoy escuchamos de la comunidad de la policía en cuanto a la disciplina, porque la disciplina es una manera rápida en que las personas llegan en el sistema criminal, no para mí o para otros. La comunidad se corta la transmisión. por la conducta de la escuela a la cárcel comienza temprano. Entonces, son cosas que podemos hacer. Se corta la transmisión. A mí me gustaría saber si mi niño está exhibiendo señales tempranos que quizás tendrá resultados de conducta con problemas con la policía más adelante. Y con el espíritu de la norma y como padre de familia, yo quisiera saber cómo prevenir y no solamente enumerar las normas o cómo es la manera de monitorearlo o estar informado. Yo creo que tendría más sentido. Podemos hablar acerca de eso en julio, durante la sesión de trabajo, como queríamos que. Gracias, director. Y ahora a la información. Parece que vamos a llevar a cabo una sesión especial el 1 de julio al mediodía con el propósito de seleccionar presidente y vicepresidente para el siguiente año. Y eso es todo lo que tenemos para información. Y ahora seguimos adelante para el comentario del público que no tiene que ver respecto a la agenda. Otra vez vamos a permitir 3 minutos para cada persona para hacer comentarios. Gracias. Lo siento. Intenté prender mi micrófono y quería hacer un comentario de las próximas juntas. Por ejemplo, el 1 de julio, la Junta Especial de la Mesa Directiva para el presidente y copresidente. Me puse en contacto recientemente, pero quiero proponer algo. Se corta la transmisión. Para tomar en consideración, porque puesto que vamos a dar voto al liderazgo de la mesa y sabemos que es increíblemente importante. Una cosa que no sé si hemos técnicamente hecho antes. Es muy similar a lo que hacemos cuando los miembros del comité de presupuesto hacen la solicitud para unirse al comité. Se corta la transición. Pero si estamos votando en el liderazgo de la mesa directiva, que es increíblemente importante, tener la oportunidad de escuchar, por ejemplo, por qué una persona quisiera ser presidente de la mesa directiva o vicepresidente. No estoy hablando acerca de se corta la transmisión de otros miembros de la mesa directiva y el público con la mesa directiva del distrito escolar de Salem-Keizer. Sería buena oportunidad para que la gente le escuchara de aquellos que quieren. Yo quiero escuchar la razón por la cual quieren tomar el papel del liderazgo en vez de caminar o entrar en una junta. La mesa directiva es escuchar que ya se tomaron las decisiones. Quisiera que haya una oportunidad para informarnos. No estoy proponiendo necesariamente que votemos. Me gustaría que nosotros se corte la transmisión para que haya esta consideración. Gracias, presidente o directora Blasi. ¿Es posible tomar esta decisión o debemos hablar de eso más adelante? Creo que sería una pregunta para la superintendente Paul Perry o quizás Paul de Copies. La mesa directiva tendría que considerar el procedimiento que se usa para las elecciones. Quizás durante la reunión el 23 de junio se lleva a cabo una discusión. De hecho, ahora las normas de la mesa directiva de las elecciones no dice nada acerca de este nivel de detalles. No hay una razón en que no podía decidir no hacerlo. Pero como mesa directiva hay que comentar entre ustedes. Entonces, para confirmar, no tendríamos que votar sí o no, pero podemos. Se corta la transición. Se podía escribir como norma. Se corta la transmisión. Hay una reunión adicional de la mesa directiva antes de decidir. Entonces se puede decidir durante la junta de 23 de junio o el 1 de julio, pero yo creo que sería una decisión para la mesa directiva. También tiene la habilidad y tendría que revisar la norma y me gustaría tiempo para hacerlo antes de contestar. Pero la verdad de la Junta es una decisión de la mesa directiva, pero no explica precisamente los pasos. Se corta la transmisión. Lo siento, ¿qué dijo? Se corta la transmisión. Nada más quería asegurarme. Como sabe, gracias, directora, gracias por sugerir eso. Por lo menos a mí me gustaría saber quién está planeando a ser presidente o vicepresidente. Por favor, exprésese algunas de las cosas que a usted le gustaría ver como nosotros para trabajar juntos. Sería bueno si podía escribir por lo menos un párrafo y compartir con 7 de nosotros de lo que usted quisiera hacer durante los siguientes 12 meses y qué es lo que podemos hacer. A mí me gustaría tener una idea antes de tomar una decisión. No sé si sería para el público, pero por lo menos para nosotros. Y presidente Hayan, estoy vacilante a meterme en hacer cambios durante el proceso. No tenemos información, pero hemos trabajado juntos. Nos conocemos. He trabajado con Paul durante 5 años y con usted, Jesse, durante 3 y un año con... Creo que todos tenemos entendimiento de quiénes somos basados en nuestras conversaciones. Creo que si la mesa directiva quisiera tomar este paso, que lo agreguemos como norma en julio y llevar a cabo una conversación de la mejor pregunta y qué propósito serviría, a qué propósito. Y nos ayudará a entender quién será el liderazgo para el próximo año, pero como de último momento, creo que no sería buena idea. Gracias. Muchísimas gracias por su preocupación. Directora Gas, ¿tiene algo que decir? Yo sí. Entonces, no sé si es tan lastimable. Todos tenemos nuestras propias opiniones por estar ahí y nuestra propia dirección. Y creo que tiene sentido un poco tener una declaración muy corta de la manera que quisiera hacer líder y lo que quisiera hacer. Creo que no será algo más. Y si nos dificultan, entonces alguien pudiera decir, mira, iba a considerar las cosas así durante el año escolar. Y creo que es algo bueno. Entonces yo estaría en favor de surgir un par de preguntas. Creo que no tiene que ser una cosa grande. Perfecto, gracias. Muchísimas gracias. Director Kylo, ¿algo? Sí. Yo he pasado más elecciones de la mesa directiva, más que cualquier otra persona, menos Paul. Y en cada una, o en el pasado, los candidatos se les dieron la oportunidad, después de recibir la nominación, si quisieran hablar, porque muchas veces ellos no quisieron, ni yo, pero siempre se les ofreció. Creo que no habrá cambio, será un compromiso si los candidatos entienden que se espera a decir algo por algunos minutos. Me parece que eso puede resolver el problema. Me pregunto quién escribirá las preguntas. Si es posible que el liderazgo de la mesa directiva se les van a dirigir a sí mismos, y no sé si sería justo. Prefiero que los candidatos compartan información. Sí, es justo. Y director Hines, lo siento, copresidente Hines, ¿tenía algo que decir? Lo siento, estoy intentando, utilizando mi teléfono móvil. Quería asegurarme que no tiene nada que decir. Y yo personalmente, definitivamente, yo puedo ver los dos lados, como saber desde la perspectiva de los demás. Y la segunda parte, ¿qué pasa si llega al punto en que alguien no quisiera hacerlo, pero si son nominados? Hemos visto esto anteriormente. Y esto trae algunos dinámicos interesantes, porque no todos quieren tomar este puesto. Muchísimas gracias por los comentarios. ¿Puedo hablar? Sí. En verdad estoy de acuerdo con Paul. Esto nunca pasa. Nunca pasa. Bueno, estoy de acuerdo, porque yo creo que cuando alguien quisiera ser un líder verdadero, entonces cualquier pregunta que se hace es como dirigiendo a una respuesta. Y yo prefiero que las personas que quieren ser líder para presentar sus propias ideas y no someterlos a las direcciones de los demás. Y todos tenemos muchas cosas que está pasando en la vida, puesto que tenemos una agenda más grande con la conversación emocional. Directora Blasi, alzaba la mano. Lo siento. Yo estaría de acuerdo con eso. Nada más quería darle el recordatorio. Me encantaría que un espacio esté proporcionado. Se corta la transmisión. Se corta la transmisión. A mí me gustaría escuchar de la gente. Creo que esto funcionará si tenemos un espacio para que se corte la transición. En vez de hacer preguntas. Sí, creo que es muy buen punto. Estoy de acuerdo con eso también. Directora Jaime. De acuerdo con Paul también. Sí.
De decir lo que quiere y si lo quieren. Y lo que queremos es formular preguntas para determinar quién va a decir cuáles fueron esas preguntas. Y determinarlas y formularlas en una forma particular. Y si alguno de nosotros quiere hacerlo, pues va a ser absolutamente grandioso. Gracias por compartir eso.
just one page or half a page or one paragraph in bullet point if you want. Tell me what you want to do, how you want to do it, what way you want me to.
Yo soy nuevo para este proceso, pero me gustaría pedirte que por favor pues, pusieras en un parágrafo con una viñeta qué es lo que quieres hacer, cómo quieres hacerlo. Así sigue cortando la comunicación.
That gets translated into our community. Ultimately, we have to be the role model for our community. How we do it.
Y lo importante es que para nosotros busquemos una forma de democratizar la participación de la comunidad y nuestra participación o nuestra colaboración con esta comunidad para este es el lugar para brillar. Gracias, director. Me pregunto si la directora acá más que gracias por si tiene algo más que decir. Estoy de acuerdo. Sí, estoy de acuerdo que tenemos muchas cosas en las cuales tenemos que discutir, pero que definitivamente tenemos que postergar. Y que hay muchas cosas que la gente quiere proponer para hacer y que quiere hacer, pero tenemos que saber cómo hacerlo. Ok, ahora vamos a pasar a los comentarios del público no relacionados con la gente, con los puntos de la gente. Vamos a otorgar 3 minutos para cada participación. Nuestro equipo de comunicación va a facilitar el proceso de participación. Tenemos dos puntos relacionados, no relacionados con la agenda. El primer de parte de un estudiante. Cuando el distrito escolar nos va a permitir a estudiantes como yo tener acceso a los artículos que están cerrados en los armarios en las escuelas antes de que comience el año escolar 2020-2021. El próximo comentario es el próximo comentario público es de parte de Cecilia Horta en Salem. Y ella dice, ¿cuál es la expectativa para el próximo año escolar 2020-2021? Ustedes están planificando en tener clases completas en los salones de clase, sin máscara. Y van a haber opciones establecidas o puestas en la mesa en la cual nosotros podamos asistir a clases sin la necesidad de que nuestros padres estén con nosotros en clases en las casas para educarnos en casa. Ok, ahora vamos a actividad de la mesa directiva. He trabajado con el punto del COVID-19. En la comunidad Kaiser tenemos muchos suministros de alimentos. He recibido muchos mensajes directos desde la página del de la mesa directiva y de mi página personal. Para poder conectar o para poder establecer una comunicación entre la comunidad y los recursos disponibles en la área, la comunicación se está cortando.
Questions I'm getting about when kids can get their stuff out of their locker. I said earlier I'm a mom of two, so of course a lot of that's internal stuff. Whatever those papers are super important.
El número de preguntas que estoy obteniendo relacionadas con los estudiantes tratando de saber cuándo van a tener la oportunidad de poder obtener sus pertenencias de los armarios en las escuelas. En mi caso particular, que soy madre de 2 estudiantes, lo cual hace su situación personal, me hace difícil poder responder estas preguntas diferentes a las preguntas de distribución y otras ayudas a la
I'm so impressed and I'm so grateful for the love that this community gives to our kids, and to just get to see it from this side, knowing the effort that's being put out is remarkable.
Como padre de estudiantes, estoy muy impresionada acerca de la respuesta tan asertiva que han tenido estos apoyos a la comunidad para poder ayudar en el desenvolvimiento de todo esto. Yo estaba trabajando con algunas enfermeras en sorpresa. Se está cortando la comunicación. Las enfermeras han estado tratando de establecer una fuerza de trabajo para darle apoyo a las minorías en el campo médico. Y mi comunicación con ellas ha sido de parte de, o en la parte de establecer la sensibilidad, la sensibilidad en ese tema y en específica de la atención médica. Directora Blasi.
Obviously, for a lot of us, since the last time we met, just a lot
Para todos
of
nosotros, la última vez que nos reunimos, muchas veces están pasando ahí, todavía está tratando de maniobrar COVID. Y adicional a esto, el asesinato insensible de George Floyd. Y algo que me gustaría resaltar es el lado positivo de esto, y es que tuvimos la oportunidad de escuchar de nuestra comunidad en relación a las nuevas medidas, a pesar de los tiempos difíciles que estamos viviendo. La comunicación se corta frecuentemente. Algo que me gustaría compartir. Tú podrías o no haber visto la correspondencia de hoy de parte de algunos invitados. La fundación de Salem-Keizer votó por disolver la fundación. Y quizás Cristi tenga algunas opiniones que aportar. La directiva de SCEF en los últimos años ha dado un paso adelante para para poder dejar sí, dejar ir al personal. A pesar de que esto representa un apoyo significativo para las escuelas. Pero me gustaría decir que la Junta SCEF y Carlisle realmente dieron un paso adelante para ayudar a disolver esta organización de una forma favorable. Y de esta forma los programas que ellos están atendiendo van a ser transferidos al INCA, por lo que al SCEF se va a disolver o desintegrar para el 30 de junio. Entonces, todas estas actividades de atléticas va a ser atendida por mí. Y me gustaría hacer voz acerca de la buena labor que el jefe estaba realizando. Y quería ser el portavoz de esta nueva noticia, ya que ellos no tuvieron la oportunidad de sobrevivir estos tiempos difíciles y quería que reconocieran la buena labor que ellos estaban haciendo. Muchas gracias. Este es un tiempo muy difícil desde el caso de George Floyd. Está ya que las escuelas o las escuelas estaban envueltos en procesos de racismo, de trauma y de discriminación. La comunicación sí es importante.
And one of the things I really tried hard is not to say something, not to post something which will further cause harm to the community. So I had to find a way to kind of ground myself.
Decir algo o no publicar algo que pueda ser en detrimento de la comunidad.
My part, that does not mean I condone anything. Then I started writing a reflection in an article which I shared with Superintendent Perry and so many other leaders.
Hay un artículo que compartí con la superintendente Perry que no sea en detracción o de detrimento de la situación actual.
I submitted an article in the Statesman Journal just out of that, saying our community needs to start healing. There's no plan B. This cannot go on. This is damaging for our nation.
Sigue cortando la comunicación.
It is not the way, and we cannot allow our generational harm to damage the next generation. We all have the capacity to interrupt this. For too long, this has gone on. Racism is like a pervasive fog that has spread.
Por mucho tiempo ha estado sucediendo el racismo y todos tenemos la capacidad de detener esto.
And I have to honor all the ancestors who lived behind in this place. I'm walking on their soil. So for me to acknowledge that they all carried their own wounds, their own good, bad, ugly inside them, and how I can take steps so that we can start healing this story and not hurt the next generation. So I really want to use this opportunity, this blessing as a school board director to start framing that question. I don't have answers. With all humility, I must say, I don't completely understand the horrors that people before me have gone through. Yet I should have a non-judgmental stance of listening. And today was a beautiful opportunity for me to listen. And I'm sure there's some more we have to listen.
Para el día de hoy fue una hermosa oportunidad para mí escuchar los aportes que todos tienen que hacer en relación a este tema tan sensible. Y permítanme perspectiva acerca de quienes han venido antes de mí han pasado. Esta es una situación muy difícil para mí.
Director Gus.
Yo realmente le agradezco mucho por haber compartido esta reflexión con nosotros. He compartido mucho más tiempo recientemente con los padres de lo que usualmente comparto con los estudiantes. Y he tenido la oportunidad de discutir con ellos que usualmente nosotros recibimos muchas directrices de parte del Departamento de Educación de Oregon, y en esta oportunidad no hemos recibido las suficientes directrices relacionadas con la situación actual desde la perspectiva del Departamento de Educación. La comunicación se está cortando con mucha frecuencia. Aún no puedo escuchar lo que la comunicación se está cortando. Aún se sigue cortando frecuentemente. Es difícil escuchar lo que está diciendo. El distrito está tomando seriamente qué es lo posible para, cuál es la posibilidad para hacer cambios definitivos en los sistemas que permitan mejorar. Se sigue cortando la comunicación. Se sigue cortando frecuentemente, es imposible entender lo que está comunicando.
Thank you, Chairwoman Hyan. Appreciate that. As far as
Gracias.
goes, I mean, of course, I've been meeting.
Gracias por compartir eso. Y de mi parte,
Because through my in life, I lead Young Life out at McKay, and so we're just hanging out with a bunch of students. Some of them are graduating.
de mi parte yo he estado compartiendo con una gran cantidad de estudiantes, específicamente de McKay. Y mi perspectiva de eso es que una de las cosas más difíciles de esta época es no poder compartir con la gente con la que usualmente solíamos hacerlo. Entonces, en estos últimos tiempos ha sido mucho acerca de escuchar a toda esa gente, todo lo que tienen que decir.
I myself had some defensiveness right off the bat, just because it was like there was a false narrative painted, right, where it's either you care about the Black Lives Matter movement or you care about.
Álvaro, yo sigo.
It's like, well, I love my country, but
Yo amo mi
not mutually exclusive. Of course, you can. It's
mi
not
país.
that other lives don't matter. It's just they also matter, you know. And so
Yo todas las vidas.
and you know, I spend a lot of my time listening, learning
Yo he pasado mucho tiempo escuchando. Lo mejor que puede hacer es escuchar a la comunidad.
I told him, you know, we were talking. I was like, listen, I was like, if it was a Native American thing, it's super easy for me to catch on because I'm Native American. If it's kind of comes to the Black community,
Está hablando con un nativo americano.
sometimes there are things that we won't catch, you know. So I think it's really important for us to listen, and that's what I've been
muy importante escuchar de verdad.
listen and learn the best that I can. On a statewide level, I've been talking to a lot of other school boards throughout the state in regards to
todos los casos de what adjustments que están haciendo con lo de COVID-19 y otras decisiones que están haciendo en el estado con la metodología. Tenemos que informar no nomás es nuestro distrito. En el nivel norteamericanas. Nos ha de diferentes regiones. Pues se fue. ¿Qué está haciendo cada región? Una de las tribus están están representadas ahora va a hablar la superintendente. Dice, hay muchos que reportar, muchas preguntas que responder. Dice, voy a tratar de... Dice, hermanos, dice, la última semana al testimonio público que dieron ahora. Estoy muy orgullosa. Tenemos que hablar. Y de dice que estoy agradecida. Sí, yo sé que queremos nuestro 20. Eso no ya familias que quieran aprender a enseñar. Vamos a tener muchas opciones flexibles. Sí, vamos a tener más. Sí, mientras estamos en la fase 2 desde la siempre nos están pueden seguir con aprendiendo en línea. Dice que puse mamá dice están haciendo se van a tener múltiples dice tuvieron una conversación que van a tomar todos esos elementos estamos todavía y vamos a seguir para la fase 2 para las graduaciones. Sí, vamos a ver cómo van a agarrar los estudiantes. Es decir, los estudiantes se pregunta para Bueno, estamos trabajando, sí, lo que urgentemente necesito.
Again, we had a really strong board with a really strong executive director, and COVID hit. They've made all the right moves to be successful, and will help think about things like the Crystal Apple and the awesome 3000. Also, I mean, if we can't get out of this without saying our parents have really been amazing in
No podemos irnos sin decir que padres han sido
and how they managed with their kids, and our educators that are parents managed with their kids.
Y los niños
Yesterday, and I was done with a 1-year-old and trying to work. So I have no idea how parents are managing all that they are managing.
Los maestros padres
Appreciation tonight, and I just want to end with
quiero enseñar mi apreciación. Quiero terminar reflexionando
what it means for us, what the bigger conversations are beyond SROs, because they've started an important conversation.
Es más grande
to shy away from that conversation.
No quiero que
service to our kids in our community. So it's really a time
para no
to step up as leaders.
vamos a
That ends my comments.
parece que ya con eso termino mi comentario.
I apologize, I missed you. You did want to have something you had to say, and I just completely missed the ball on that. So I apologize.
No worries. I should have said, and I had forgotten. Pam Burns, the regional chair for the president of the Oregon Mortgage Association, is working with the school district on a funding campaign. I mentioned in my report that food is a big deal, and I'm pretty sure
De la comida que
that we've given out 100,000 plus meals since COVID-19
hemos
estado meals, and it's very expensive. And so our mortgage industry is partnering with the entire community to collect money to continue that food effort, which is very much needed. And Lillian's communication team has done a great job of getting that information out. Lillian just said more than 1 million. Oh, I'm sorry, 1 million? Oh my gosh, more than 1 million meals.
Más de un millón.
So that's
COVID-19.
ridiculously profound.
We
need help with money, so this is the best
necesitamos dinero.
Go and support the district's effort to partner with that organization and donate, and go to the Facebook page of the district.
Donando para las organizaciones.
Thank you, Dr. Bethel. And again, I just want to say for our entire board, thank you so much for pushing through long meeting, and we're going to have more long meetings.
Quiero agradecer a toda la mesa directiva por una larga.
Our time, like Christy said, it's our time to step up the lead. It's our time to listen to our students who are at home alone.
A los estudiantes.
Struggling to even get their unemployment checks, as well as our communities
De todos.
really hurting as well. So I think this is our time to listen, learn.
Este es el tiempo de escuchar y aprender.
Thank you guys.
Eso, muchas gracias.
We will adjourn the meeting.
Nosotros terminaremos la junta.
Have a good night, guys.
Buenas noches, que tengan buenas noches.